Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on this Saturday morning. It is February 28th, last day of February of 2026, and you're watching the 1022nd episode of The Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and wonderful wife, and all of you watching at home just a couple of days before the Purim holiday. I've got my, what is it called? The emotional support potato here.
Punchy.
Punch. I'm calling him Punch Potato today because of a story that's basically gone viral all over TikTok and Facebook and all these other places. But you tell it better than I. It has to do with a monkey, little baby, tiny.
I think his mother rejected him.
Yeah.
And he was put in with the troop. And then the troop of monkeys weren't so good to him. And then he likes the keeper, his handler. And the sad part is that they gave him like an IKEA monkey as a mother because he needed something to be connected to. And he varies between being with that monkey mother and being alone.
Because sometimes he's still tormented by other monkeys, and sometimes he's loved in a... I don't know. We're looking for my comical, hilarious antlers that we bought.
And we specially got that, David.
I know, but I had to move it when the housekeeper came, and da-da-da, and I don't quite remember where... Did you check the living room?
Yes.
Huh.
This is disappointing me very much.
I know. When we have some other stuff to do, I'll try and go find them. But, because it is, we are just days away from Purim, which is going to be a part and parcel of this episode of the Dave's Gone By show. Plus, we have an interview. Going to be a lot of fun today on this late February day. Beautiful. First beautiful Saturday we've had in a month, because it's going to be almost, I think, mid-50s.
It says 56. I'm not going to look on your phone.
A high of 56 degrees today here in northern Maryland, compared to week after week after week. I was read, where was it? It was either on Facebook or Next Door Neighborhood or somebody was complaining, and I get it, that they're trying to walk down some of the streets a week ago. Yeah. And they were complaining, it's like, nobody shovels their sidewalks. There should be a law against this. It's been a month since the snowstorm. And I wanted to tell them, dude, this was not just a snowstorm. I can understand. After a few days, you expect public property and private / public.
It's impossible. You can't expect people. It's impossible. Tell them our neighbor said, what do they say, in 16 years, this is the what?
Yeah, in the years he's been living here, this is the worst winter, certainly the worst winter storm that he's ever seen. Yeah.
This is your old one.
We are live, though, right?
Yeah, but then it says it, but then it's giving me the old ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't get it.
But yeah, if you had, and over the past 3.5 weeks, and maybe you have had to do this too.
Here you're live.
I can understand that. Over the past couple of weeks, I've tried to do.
1 second.
What do you need, babe? One moment, please.
Gotta use conditioner, David. Tell them your pump issue when you.
Yeah, so my hair is not as beautiful as it usually is because our conditioner
works with your curls nicely. I'm gonna get the new one.
But I would go out and make this attempt when it was a little bit sunny out or the temperature clocked past like 36. I'd be out there with a shovel trying to get the blocks of ice. Yeah.
That if it's freezing, you're not supposed to go out. Only want to get. I heard it.
Yeah.
Is that like just a misnomer? Like when it's above freezing, you don't go out till it's above freezing.
Well, what do you mean by go out? You have to.
No, you're not supposed to shovel till it stops.
Yeah, there's no point.
It's above freezing.
Yeah. There's. But even if it's above freezing, it can be 34 degrees and the snow sunny. So you see things starting to melt. But you try and go in there with a regular shovel, and it's a chink, 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 and all, it goes into your back.
Our friend gave you the ice thing, right?
Yeah. Well, that was a huge help on the day that it snowed. It was just an icebreaker, quite literally. But if you don't have one of those, or it's days and days or weeks after a storm and the ice is still stuck to the sidewalk. There's really, barring professional equipment, there's nothing you can do. You're just kind of like walk around. The main, our gutters, not our house gutters, but the street, the gutter outside our house, that was cleared on the day or day after. So if you didn't want to walk along our sidewalk,
Everybody was, David.
yeah, of course.
We saw people running in the street, walking. I mean, the dog, los perros pequeños, todos la gente.
Yeah. But yeah, it ticked me off because this person, I guess, just did not understand. And they weren't complaining about our house or our walk. They were just complaining in general at some other neighborhood of like, these people should be summoned and there's a law, they should be fined because they haven't shoveled the thing in it. And I would have agreed with them until a month ago. And then this particular storm, I'm like, I get it. You can't. There have been cars all along York Road and other, not York Road, but side streets that have been sitting there
Buried, yeah.
for a month.
But I know this because we had the car in Colorado. When I went back to Colorado, like to pack up the house, it had been sitting there and the battery died. Like, I don't know how long it takes, but I think there's a certain amount of time. Maybe they climb in to start the car, but if not, I would assume the battery dies.
What was really weird and prescient about this, and that you brought this up, is I was talking to my mom this past week, and she had said that
Her battery died.
she was worried. But back in because we had another snowstorm last weekend, and it piled up quite a bit of snow, but it was soft snow. It was not as cold and not as cold.
The second one, even my friend, and she was in Suffolk County, they got hit the second time, we got hit the first.
Yeah, we got terribly hit the first.
They got the second,
And the second, New York got like 1.5 feet of snow for reals.
Did they get the first? Like, we got the first.
No, we got that much worse. Yeah. They got hit last week with a ton load of snow. And Mom was like, I can't, even if I get to the car's just covered with stuff, but she wanted to make sure that the battery.
Some cars have automatic ignition where you can click the thing and they turn on.
I don't know if hers does. I don't think ours does. I'm sure modern Teslas may. But so she wanted to go out there and say and charge. What do you do? Or if there's a blackout, and she's worried about maybe blackout and losing the charge on her phone. What do you do? Go out and charge in the car. Yeah. And she talked about but she had read about people if your car is buried in snow and you get in there and you go in there, you can suffocate, like if you're in a car in a garage. And I was like, okay, so you open the door. That's not going to happen. Wouldn't you know, the next day, there was a story in the paper about a guy who went into his car to charge his phone, fell asleep, and because I guess the tailpipe was blocked with snow, died in the car.
David, honestly, if you want to find somebody who was killed by a blue jay, hit them in the face. You can search on the.
No, but it was so weird that I just talked to my mom, and then it was in the New York Post the next day.
It must have been stuff that they were talking about in other,
Maybe it overheard. The internet hears me talking to my mother and says, "Let's find a story that is relevant."
Let's freak out a woman, older woman, even more.
Yeah, but this is all to say that today, looking absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be gorgeous. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get more snow. I think we're getting flurries like tomorrow night.
Well, I'm going to do I have both bags of bird seed, so if we do find sheep, we could, but we're going to finish one bag and go to another, and you know how they do. Oh, yeah, our birds, squirrels, deer, just go after our bird feeders, which is fine. It's what it's there for, to feed all the our flora and fauna, particularly our fauna. The flora can take care of themselves. And I'm going to be fawning over a couple of people on this episode of the Dave's Gone By show because we're calling it Fit to be Tied. That is the title of our 1022nd episode. We're calling it that, first of all, because we have a guest in the Daverhood, an actor, a fellow named Jason Carmichael, or according to SAG-AFTRA and Equity, Jason E. Carmichael, and he is in a play
a one-man show called Tide. He didn't write it. It's written by another author. I think her name is Crystal Ray. And the show is going to be off-Broadway for a couple of weeks. And you're going to want to see it because it's, a delightful, happy story. Fictional, but sort of based on some real people, about a father who one of his daughters is killed in the 1963 Birmingham, Alabama bombing of a black church. And so it's the father going through the grief, the bereavement, the mourning, and plus all these other characters involved, and the father actually having an opportunity to confront and or kill one of the murderers who blew up the church. So, yeah, fun stuff, but it sounds like a really great show. It's gotten awards and great visibility. He's gotten an award. His name is Jason Carmichael, and he is going to be talking about Tide, as well as the tide of his career and all sorts of other things, with Rabbi Sol Solomon on this week's episode of Dave's Gone By. Rabbi Sol, of course, has been with us since our first episode back in 2002. He does most of our interviews now and our rabbinical reflections too. He does a weekly, not weekly, but periodic sermon about life in America, life around the world, Jewish things, non-Jewish things. It's whatever pops into his wonderfully crazy brain. You can find out more about him at shalomdammit.com. But Rabbi Sol will be doing the honors interviewing Jason Carmichael on the show a bit later in the broadcast today. So, yeah, and Rabbi Sol will be doing double duty. Yeah, I said the word. I said duty. Because he will have a brand new rabbinical reflection, ladies and gentlemen. He likes to do these, especially around Purim time, of Jewish...
Yeah, maybe he could wear where'd you put it, Dave?
I've got to find it.
Where did you put it?
I have no idea where I put it. I lost a bag yesterday of balloons and...
You were cleaning.
Yeah, because you have to clean before the maid comes. This is every Jewish person knows this. Like, the maid is coming, the house is a mess. You can't have the maid seeing the house being a mess. You've got to make it nice for her so she can clean easily. So, you take things off, you make space for her to dust and stuff like that. So I pulled a pair of lit up antlers off of our kitchen table to move it. Why am I echoing myself now? And now I can't find the lit up antlers, which we purchased.
Show yourself to yourself.
You can't have the maid seeing the house being a mess. You got to make it nice for her so she can clean easily. So, you take things off, you make space for her to dust and stuff like that. So I pulled a pair of lit up antlers off of our kitchen table to move it. Why am I echoing myself now? And now I can't find the lit up antlers, which we purchased. We have a long delay here. You can't have the maid seeing the house.
Look at you, showing you.
This is Mega. This is Warhol. All right.
You don't think
So
that's weird?
why? It's a delay. It's not a second. That feels almost like a 15-second delay.
It's a long
rather
delay.
than a 7-second delay. Yeah. As they would say on FMU. But where was I with? No. So
for your Purim thing, and I bought that specifically for that.
I know she's really upset about this, about losing our antlers.
Don't say what it is. You gotta find it.
Well, I don't know what the antler is.
Where did you put it?
I don't know. I was moving things. It might be on the chair of the kitchen table, just so I got it out of the way. I'm not sure. Could have been not. But yeah, just to get it off the table,
Okay, stop.
so
Go.
our maid could clean on the table.
Wait, David, we don't have a maid. What is this, the 1950s?
What do you call her? A domestic paid servant supplicant. I don't know what is the phraseology that won't offend.
She's a cleaner.
All right, she's a cleaner.
A maid reminds me of someone wearing a pinafore going around going, "Yes, m'lady."
Well, that's what I do around here. No.
I wish you were a maid. You're a crappy maid. If you're a maid, you know who you're like? You're like Florence on the Jeffersons. Only more ornery and worse. You're worse.
I'm worse than Florence on the Jeffersons?
You make her look like a Mary maid.
I make her like, who's the one on the Jetsons? Remember they had
Florence.
the...
She's also Florence.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But So we will find, when we have some time, I will look for the antlers.
Yeah, right.
And try and find them because they are cute. They're fun. They're on sale from obviously Christmas time. We got them at Michael's, and
I'm not saying
they lit up and everything. They're amazing. And
apparently, I wouldn't know.
well, I mean, I couldn't leave them on the kitchen table where they were.
We could have left them on the lamp. They were harmless.
On the lamp. Oh, on the lamp. I guess I could have left them on the lamp. I'll do my best. I'll find them. Let's see. How does Dave disappoint his wife? Number 1,877.
You mean physically or mentally?
Oh, 3,892.
Just think later on, hold your toy bagel. Later on, you could have a toy bagel outside, maybe. Well, it
won't be a toy.
You could sit next to the shark, maybe.
Yes!
Maybe they could cut they don't cut adults, but we could ask if they
I won't be cut. That'd be hurting.
Your hair, they could cut your hair.
Oh,
they're barbers.
They could, yeah.
No, but you're not going to fit in the toy truck that they cut the kids in.
I will make myself fit in the toy truck that the kids sit in.
I could just pretend you're special.
You have to pretend. But anywho, yes, because it is Purim time, Rabbi Sol will have jokes that he will say also for Purim. Our story time today is going to be taken from the essential compendium of dad jokes. So yeah, it's going to be a joke-filled time, even though, I woke up this morning feeling pretty good, got a show to do, got a great interview to do, got Rabbi Sol coming, beautiful weather today, some nice weather even leading up to today, where most of the snow is gone from all over the place. Pretty decent week, great dinner last night, all this stuff. And then I wake up, first thing you do, you look at the internet, you look at the Facebook, you look at the news, and it's like, oh, we're at war. Oh, we're bombing Iran, and Iran is trying to bomb our military back. So good morning to you. Not that I mind bombing Iran. It's like, I still remember the hostages and stuff from, the Jimmy Carter era, but still, good morning to you. And I scroll a little, or I don't even scroll a little further. I go to the next story in the newspaper feed, and we lost a major friend of the Daverhood just yesterday. And here's the irony. Here's the weird part. Not irony. Coincidence, I guess. I was going to talk about this guy not even yesterday when the news broke that he was going to the hospital, but earlier in the week, because I have a thing here to talk about nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because the nominations came out this week, and I'll talk about that. And it's amazing who is being nominated, who's not even for years been thought of. And this man belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm talking about Neil Sedaka.
Oh, everybody put that, yeah.
Legendary pop, not so much rock, but certainly pop songwriter with a major career going from the 1950s all the way really into the mid-70s, working not just solo or writing for other people.
Came up, so I wrote and put it with memories.
Oh, nice. But Neil Sedaka, he woke up yesterday morning feeling off.
What was wrong with him? Yeah.
It doesn't, but they rushed him to the hospital, and
it says here, music legend, but there must be something. 83.
I mean, he had skin cancer 5 years ago. That doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything.
What was Neil Sedaka's cause of death? It's looking. I'm cleaning. You have so many alerts on your phone. You don't need it. Okay. It says what we know.
Yeah. What was it? Just.
It's hard to say. Breaking up is hard to do. I think it's what you're saying. I'm looking in USA Today.
We're looking for what exactly Neil Sedaka died of, other than old age, other than maybe his appendix.
It's not listed.
Yeah.
They're not saying. They're just not saying.
Yeah. He was an old guy. He was 86, I believe.
Yeah, it says 83, but I don't
know. 83. Oh, he's only 83. Wow.
That's what I saw.
Because he was such a kid when he started writing songs and being part of the Brill Building and then having hits. My dad used to have a greatest hits album of Neil Sedaka that he would play
Oh,
all the
89,
time.
86, you're right.
It was 86.
Wow, yeah. He was born in Brooklyn. You won
Yeah,
You won his, whatchamacall,
his wiki. I'll take his wiki.
I'm having trouble finding here, okay. Here.
So,
Hold it like a pancake.
so our friend of the Daverhood, this is like the Dave Says Bye segment of the show, to Neil Sedaka, born in 1939. He almost made it. March 13th would have been his birthday.
Oh, some
2 more
people-
weeks.
It's funny, people sometimes die or get sick or right around their birthday time.
Well, this is 2 weeks away. It's
Yeah,
not
but still,
quite.
It's close. It's not like in December
Yeah.
last year.
He sold millions of records worldwide, wrote well over 500 songs, collaborated, of course, and let's get to the career part. He's a Juilliard, okay, and
That for later.
for in his honor,
He was in Juilliard?
apparently, yeah.
For songwriting?
For
Juilliard
singer
songwriting?
song.
Oh, singing.
Well, he could also.
Because Juilliard, I think, is a musician.
Well, let's see. He was
Playing
in.
instruments, right?
Well, of course, he played the piano. He auditioned for a piano scholarship
Oh.
at the preparatory division for children. Wow. Because his mother wanted him to be a classical pianist like Van Cliburn.
All mothers, right?
And then, so then he started collaborating with Howard Greenfield. And we're going to play a little clip of when Sedaka was on this program talking about him and Greenfield. Let's see, and then he was in the Tokens, but this is before they had The Lion Sleeps Tonight. And then the hits started in the late 1950s. And he was a terrifically talented, tuneful, fairly important songwriter. And that was the reason I was really going to talk about him, not even knowing that he would get ill, not knowing that he would.
Nominated?
No, he's not. I don't know if he's ever been even nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It certainly isn't this year. And wouldn't it have been nice?
Can you be post?
Oh, people have been posthumously
Yeah, that's
inducted.
right, yeah.
Absolutely. And sure, great. Next year they'll induct him.
He was married for the same person from 1962
Luba.
to
Now.
It says Leba, 1962 to 26.
Yeah. Oh, Liba. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, he did collaborate with Elton John. He collaborated with, and then when people had basically not forgotten, but let Neil Sedaka go with all the pre-British invasion stuff, and we weren't even paying attention to him anymore, he writes a song that is picked up by this duo called the Captain and Tennille. And they have a hit, the bouncy hit, with Love Will Keep Us Together. And it may be Sedaka's most famous song, even though he's not the one best known for writing it. It's a Captain and Tennille track. And he had a huge hit with that, and it just leaped him back into public consciousness. Over the years, he's continued releasing albums. He was doing a lot of concerts. He was posting on Facebook and Instagram and whatever up until, I think, a couple of weeks ago, right? He wanted to be, he was a performer. He was an entertainer. He wanted to be appreciated, which he was, recognized, which he was. What was kind of lovely is that and I wish Rabbi Sol had done.
Well, they said, look what they did, too.
A legend, but not a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee yet. What the hell? Carol, and by the way, I wanted to go through this because
He dated Carole King in high school.
he dated Carol King. That's right.
They didn't marry. A lot of people, I'm reading the stories just to understand it. And a lot of people thought that he would marry her, but they didn't. They just dated in high school.
Yeah, he's talked about that. And people also thought Neil Sedaka was gay because he had a certain, you always felt that part of his testicle was semi-undescended from the way he talked, and it was a wee bit metrosexual, but no, he was married to Liba, as you said, since 1962. He's longer than I've been alive.
She was the daughter of one of the owners of a resort where he was playing, and she saw him that night, and
Yeah, and he dated Carole King. He was, but Carole King is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, justifiably.
Can you can people petition for people to get put in? I don't know how people
I hope so. I'm sure they have. I'm sure they do. Whether it matters, I don't know. But the folks at the R&R HOF can't be ignorant of the fact that he's not in there.
Another person wrote about it. A lot of people are writing it too, David.
Yeah,
Like you said.
but women so not, it's long overdue. It's not just because he's old, not just because he's dying. He belongs there. If Carole King belongs, and she does, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Neil Sedaka belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I didn't look up Ellie Greenwich and like Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil. I'm guessing they're in there as. Can you check?
Who should I look up? Tell me.
Look for Barry Mann, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Barry Mann, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Guy Barry. No, not him.
Oh, maybe it's not.
Barry Mann, Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, look, it says Barry Mann, alongside his wife and songwriter and partner, Cynthia Weil, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what? 15 years ago. 16 years ago, yeah.
It says him, Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil. Who else did you want?
Well, we know Carole King is definitely in there, but also because she had Tapestry. She had a big solo album. But people from that era who are on, so Neil Diamond's in there.
Yeah.
Fine, absolutely, sure. Yeah.
You're not saying people should be removed. You're saying other people should be added. That's different.
Yeah, and so I'm going to move from my Dave Says Bye to... Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to play a little Neil Sedaka, and then I'll get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff. Because it is amazing, some of the folks who are not in the Hall of Fame versus people who are nominees this year and in recent years. But you know what? Before I do that, let me share my screen. Because I do have clips of... Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Thank you. Let me open this up to where is it? No, where I purposely put it in here. Oh, here it is. You can see it faster than I can. Let's open this with. So it's an audio clip only because we were still on terrestrial radio at this point. But here is Neil Sedaka talking to me back in 2004, May 27th, 2004. He was on the show. And here's him talking about his early career, the hits he wrote, the hits he collaborated on with Howie Greenfield. I'll just start from here. And just for a minute or two, this is Neil Sedaka on Dave's Gone.
We sell it in the concerts as well.
Great. Let's roll back the clock a little bit, again, back to the beginning, moving away from the new CD to some of the great hits that you've had over the years, and especially coming up. First question that I had was, people don't realize that you co-wrote so many of those songs with a fellow named Howard Greenfield.
I was 13 when I started writing songs, and Howie Greenfield was 16 years old. I miss him terribly. He's passed on in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
But we had written over 500 songs together, including Love Will Keep Us Together, The Hungry Years, Calendar Girl, oh my goodness, so many songs together. Happy Birthday, Sweet 16, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do.
Do you remember the first song you wrote together?
Oh, it was a bad one.
Oh, always.
We were only 13 and 16 years old. But we got better as we went along, and I was we were one of the first teams to go to the Brill Building in New York City and write for the Brill Building.
What was that like, working in that atmosphere?
Very exciting. Very, very exciting. It was writing songs from 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, 5 days a week. It was a wonderful time in music. It was real teenage music, and it was doo-wop music, and I had a doo-wop group actually called the Tokens.
Not related to the Tokens who did The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
The same group, yes. I started the Tokens, and then I went on to do a solo career, and they went on to do The Lion Sleeps.
I didn't realize. Oh, that's interesting. That's amazing. Now, again, I guess during the Brill Building period, some of the folks, did you ever get a chance to work with people like Carole King?
I brought Carole King into the Brill Building. She was a girlfriend of mine back in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, you dated, actually, or just girlfriend as in friend?
We were dating.
Oh.
Her name was Carol Klein then.
Uh-huh.
And there were other great writers in the beginning of the Brill Building. Neil Diamond, who lived across the street from me, Paul Simon, Tony Orlando, Barry Mann, Mort Schumann.
Did you ever co-write with any of these other people? Or was
Only
it just
with
you and
Howard
Howie?
Greenfield
Howie.
and Phil Cody and Carol Bayer Sager. Those are my only co-writers, and I'm happy to say the last 20 years I've been writing my own lyrics and love doing that.
Kind of wondering also, as far as other folks that you've worked with, did you ever get to work with Phil Spector?
No, I did not.
Did you know him, though? Was he part of that
I
whole
met him
scene?
on several occasions, yes. My stuff was happy stuff. You know, the songs were very happy. People always asked, were you smiling during the recording sessions? I was. You know, Happy Birthday, Sweet 16, and the original Stairway to Heaven, and Calendar Girl were all very happy, a little naive perhaps, but you could understand all the lyrics, and you could you could dance to it.
Well, let me unshare the screen. That is, if you want to hear all of the Neil Sedaka interview, just go to davesgoneby.com. It's about a 15-minute
When did
chat.
you sound like you were 15.
I know, I'm
Like,
so
you're nervous.
young.
Yeah, like when you first started, your anxiety and nerves, like, ha, ha, ha. Now you're like, eh. When you
Well,
sound-
I was already 2 years on the air at that point, but I was
You were green as heck. Yeah,
I was green. And also, He's a
big
was
man.
one of the first really
wow.
majorly.
He was so lovely, such a lovely man. It's like talking to a friend, right?
Yeah, and he was also the reason I mentioned
Did you
Rabbi.
post that on Facebook?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The reason I wanted Rabbi Sol to do that. Sol wasn't really doing interviews at that point, but I wanted him to do it because Sedaka was pushing an album that he had just recorded of Yiddish and Jewish classics. Because Sedaka was tribal for sure, and he did like My Yiddish Mama.
Here's the
Oh, let's see.
obituary. I'm sorry.
So this is from the LA Times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
He was died in '86. Hold on.
does that say anything?
Hold on, let's see if I can give me access. Irrepressible songsmith. Brill Building,
Why don't you
19.
put your glasses?
You're right. Hold on.
You're not used to the Sunday, but it's throwing you off.
So the songwriter's family wrote, "Our family is devastated by the sudden passing of our beloved husband, father, and grandfather,
Oh wow.
Neil Sedaka, rock and roll legend, inspiration to millions,
Yes.
incredible human being who will be deeply missed,
Yes.
a chipper melodicist."
Chipper,
Yes.
that's a good way of saying it. He is chipper.
Yeah.
He was chipper. He was the
Even when he was in his
upbeat.
70s,
He
when I
was
was
upbeat,
interviewing.
upbeat,
Yeah. Or let's see, let's calendar girl, happy birthday, sweet
What you said on
16.
your interview was kind of naive but understandable for the time, right?
He wrote "Oh Carol" about Carol King.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
the girl that he dated a bit.
I don't
Laughter in the Rain. I forgot about that one. Right. And that was a later one.
Did he write Tropical Hot Dog Night?
He did not. He certainly did not. Descendant of Turkish and Ashkenazi Jews, born in Brooklyn and grew up in Brighton Beach.
His mom was Sephardic.
I guess Turks.
His mom was Sephardic and his dad was.
So I can't go through this whole LA Times.
It doesn't say cause, right?
Well, they'll probably release that in a day or two, but he was also 86. Sometimes 86 is the cause,
Oh, but you die of something.
Yeah. The body goes downhill from one day to another.
No, it doesn't.
Let's see. Should Have Never Let You Go, a duet with his daughter Dara, became his last charting hit in 1980. He wrote his autobiography Laughter in the Rain
Oh, wow.
in 1982.
I'm glad he did that.
And in 1983,
Yeah.
he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall
So
of
maybe
Fame.
that's more important to him. What's the other Hall of Fame? Tell me.
Well, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I prefer songwriters if I was him. Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's, like, to me, that would, if you're a songwriter, it's like if you're a playwright, you want to be, recognized for your plays, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there is maybe a more
Appropriate.
telling
Yeah.
honor, but still, it's kind of like if if I were a major American playwright, haha, if only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to be on the wall of the Gershwin Theater in the Theater Hall of Fame, as opposed to the Hewlett Long Island.
The Hewlett.
The Hewlett. I just want to tell
See
people.
if there's any cause death. I think that's...
No, not yet. But he recorded the collection of Yiddish songs called Brighton Beach Memories in 2003. That's why we had him on then. And then in 2009, he recorded a children's album called Waking Up Is Hard to Do. Come on, isn't that great?
Waking up is
hard to do.
I was going to say going potty is hard to do or something.
I did these albums because I'm a Jew.
Said he would re-emerge on stage. He was an American Idol.
Was he? Oh,
Judge
wow.
on American Idol in 2003. 27. They honored him
Mm-hmm.
in 07. Lincoln Center had 50 years of showbiz with Natalie Cole, David Foster, and Clay Aiken.
All right. I bet Clay Aiken is in the right. No, I can't imagine that he is.
You know, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know.
Well, no, but it's just.
But he did get the songwriters, which
He
I
did.
think is more important for him, because he just said I wrote songs since I was 13, so that's like what.
Yeah, but he was a pop star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess true. He can get both.
I mean, Buddy Holly was mix of whether he's more important as a songwriter or not. I think Leonard Cohen is in the songwriter in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He's in the most impressive Hall of Fame.
Right. And Leonard Cohen, I mean, he's a wonderful performer, but you've got to figure him a little more important maybe as a songwriter than a singer, certainly a rock singer. But this is what pisses me off here.
What?
Talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay.
Who even? It's like, who even does that? It's like some of the ratings of things are people who self-nominate. So why didn't somebody not? Is it self?
Well, we know Jeff Buckley didn't self-nominate. We know that's not possible.
I'm asking. No, like, if you're alive, or even now, couldn't his people, an agent, somebody nominate him?
I wonder if they did. I wonder if you tug on the Academy's sleeve, or I don't know how it works or doesn't work.
Let's ask that. Okay.
Yeah, how does someone get nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
How does someone get nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It says by specialized nominating committee after becoming eligible 25 years following the first.
That's fair. Yeah.
The first commercial recording release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do have that 25-year window.
It's a lot of stuff.
But Sedaka had like a 60-year frickin' window. Think about it,
He
you know?
timed himself, dude.
The committee looks at an artist, and understand, it just occurred to me, I forgot. I actually am one of the voters for the Theater Hall of Fame. I get a ballot every year, and you can suggest.
So maybe that's the same process, sort of, kind of.
Maybe.
Sort of.
So I get a list. It's a secret list. You're not allowed to divulge or anything like that of all the people who they're thinking of nominees or are the nominees, and then you're allowed to write in for next time, for like the following year. You can say who are other people who should be. Yeah. So I voted on this. You know, it's an honor. I appreciate being considered. I'm not considered like other people.
Being a voter.
Yeah. And so I'll write down people who occur to me, and then there are times when a nomination will come up. I'm like, of course. God, how did I not think of them last year? You know. So, but check this out. These are the nominees for this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jeff Buckley.
25 years plus, right?
Yeah, all these people are eligible.
Okay.
Now Buckley, certainly a minor artist, basically got more famous than anything else for covering.
David. Somebody
wrote his name. But wouldn't it be Tim Buckley? Because his father died long before he did.
But you can have an agent, you can have friends, you can have colleagues.
And it's also because the song Hallelujah, which Jeff Buckley helped make bigger and bigger, is a Cohen song. But
yeah, but he's more known in many ways. Like I remember we were in a coffee shop in Colorado near our university, and I heard Hallelujah, but it was Buckley's. And I said, "Who's singing?"
Ain't Leonard Cohen.
No. And then they were like, "Oh, it's Leonard. It's Jeff Buckley. He wrote the song." And I said, "I don't think he wrote it." And they all that generation didn't know it was Cohen. So
they wouldn't.
People thought it was him. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the first time I heard, and still the very best version, and this is also, and I love how everything ties in together, the best version of Hallelujah, and the first time I ever heard really heard it, as opposed to hearing it once on a Leonard Cohen album, because he didn't have a great version of it, was John Cale. John Cale did a solo piano version.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No! caveat. I wanted to talk about it. John Cale is not nominated, has never been nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's in, yes, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Velvet Underground.
So he's nominated.
Well, but he's in.
But if your group is in, you're in.
Yeah, but his
It's
solo...
like saying if Kiss is in, Gene Simmons is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, but it's not the same. He deserves to be there. As
It don't
Lou
matter.
Reed is in the Rock and
It
Roll.
don't matter if someone holds the door open for you. If you squeeze through when the door's closed,
It matters.
you're still in.
It matters. Of course it matters. As who else? I think McCartney is twice in.
I don't think they should nominate people twice. That seems excessive.
Well, I don't know. The band is one thing.
Yeah, but I think like if you get it once, it's not fair. There are a lot of people.
But here, do me a favor. Just check Jerry Garcia.
Okay.
See if Jerry Garcia is
Okay.
once or twice in the R&R Hall of Fame.
Okay. How many times is Jerry Garcia in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? One time.
So he's
As
just
a
with the
member of the
Dead,
Dead, yeah.
as a member of the Dead. Okay, fair enough.
1994.
I guess fair enough. All right. But I personally feel Cale's body of work vaunts him over most of the nominees that are picked for, again, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You
I
can
mean,
write them in if you get to vote.
I don't get the one on the Rock and Roll. I don't get anything. I'm not...
Oh, look, this is about your dissertation, your thesis.
A priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar. The rabbit says, I might be a typo.
Oh,
Choom. So,
no, David.
along
You
with...
knocked over,
Mhm.
you literally knocked over an egg,
I
and
beg-
it fell off of the...
Into your tea?
Into my tea!
Oh, no.
David, ew, I'm multiple...
We'll wash it off. We'll drain
I'm
your...
not gonna...
Yeah, don't drink
No,
through
when
it.
I need my tea, I need caffeine, and now there's a toy egg in my tea. You're probably giving me cancerous disease.
Well, drink it.
No, I'm gonna dump it. There's probably cancer in that tea.
There's no cancer. What? Why are we buying toy eggs with cancer in them? We had a choice. We had the organic toy eggs that are BPE or pesticide free, and then we got the cancer-ridden toy little tiny eggs for dollhouses. Let's go with the cancer ones. They're 10 cents cheaper. So, anyway. Anywho, Jeff Buckley, Phil Collins. Then I'm sure Genesis is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and yet they want to nominate Phil Collins for his solo career, where he's
You
had...
cleaned it. Show what you did. You knocked it off of the shelf, which is above. It rolled off of like 5 or 10 inches of table onto my thing. It's clean now.
It's in perfect condition. Look,
Yeah.
there it is. There's it.
Cancer.
Looks like a
And you
chiclet.
And now I gotta clean the straw too because I probably got the cancer. And I don't have enough. You know I need my caffeine.
Or, well, when we have an interview coming up in about 20 minutes or so, where we'll have all the tea that you... Here's the egg.
You made me spill my tea.
Well, there you go.
We just had a conversation about that.
Yes,
I'm putting
yes,
it
we
here.
did.
Do not stop jumping on the table.
All right.
Now it's got a black mark on the tushy.
Do me a favor. Can you check if Genesis is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
God, here we go again.
And I don't mean
Is
Exodus.
Genesis in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? 2010, yeah.
Yeah. So now they want to induct Phil Collins separately for his solo
They're saying,
career.
like, there's a whole Reddit thing about why Phil Collins is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I remember when I think South Park was making fun of him for getting an Oscar nomination for one of his
your colleagues
songs.
here was doing SAT tutoring.
So the Black Crowes, who are like fifth generation Rolling Stones knockoffs, right, with 1 or 2 hits. When you think of rock and roll, do you think of Mariah Carey?
I don't know what.
Do you think of Mariah Carey at all?
I don't know what rock and roll really is, to be trying to cut you.
I know a woman that I actually interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and fair enough, Melissa Etheridge. Not my kind of music, but an icon, LGBT, important, long, veteran true rock performer, fine. And she's been on the ballot for like 20 years, and they still haven't given it to her. So maybe this will be Melissa Etheridge. Lauryn Hill, who had one important album, are fine. Billy Idol, okay. man defines rock and roll in a certain level. Fine. In Excess, good band, and we had a member of In Excess on the show. Iron Maiden, I don't think I've ever heard an Iron Maiden. I know what the kind of music that they are. Iron Maiden, right? But you sell 1 million albums and you appeal to a niche. Yeah. And then Joy Division / New Order, fair enough. Fair enough. Been a while. It took, yes, sure, fine. Oasis, when was the last time you listened to an Oasis album? Pink, fair enough, okay. Sade, because Sade embodies everything about rock and roll. And Luther Vandross, which, okay, if you expand the parameters of rock and roll, it's fair,
They
but
have to define it,
yeah.
right? It's not like, what is rock and roll, right?
I mean, to be fair, Pete Seeger is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and belongs there.
So who, rock
Ray Charles is in.
Is there another Hall of Fame for just music, like pop?
There ought to
music,
be,
or-
and there's probably a country. I'm sure there's a country Hall of
So
Fame.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is probably just for any music now.
It is. It's any pop music that sells a few
Well,
albums.
Taylor Swift should be in it.
She should have. I think she's still probably too young.
Oh,
She hasn't hit the 25-year
years,
mark.
yeah.
She belongs. She does belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
For a man who just you
Yes, I hurt your egg. You know who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Who?
Warren Zevon.
So
What do you mean so?
he's your friend.
No, it was David Letterman's friend. It's not my friend, but Warren Zevon.
Your glasses are crooked, David.
Yeah.
Either that or I know
My
your-
face is
your
crooked.
head's
My
a
glasses
cock
are
and
fine.
Your head is a trapezoid.
No, but Zevon and maybe people consider him a one-hit wonder for Werewolves of London, but for crying out loud, the man had several excellent albums, great songs across his.
According to you.
No, not just according to me. He's Warren frickin' Zevon. Frank Zappa is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Captain Beefheart is not. Explain that.
I don't know. Why is that?
Because just
Bad PR.
Beefheart. I mean, yes, Beefheart is more niche, no question. But is he that much more niche than Iron Maiden? Joy Division?
Maybe.
You know who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? This does amaze me. The Monkees. Now, I can understand why they weren't on the same ballot in the same year as the Beatles. But, you want to get together about 20 or 25, 30 of their best songs, you're going to have a very, very nice listening time that day.
That's true.
The Monkees, for frick's sake. Not even nominated. It's probably time for Liz Phair to get in there.
Oh, somebody said happy birthday to Gilbert Gottfried in Comedy Heaven.
Oh.
Is today his birthday?
I guess it would be, or yesterday. Yeah, our friend of the Daverhood. You explain this one.
Oh.
Yeah. The Go-Go's are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The Bangles are not.
I don't
I'll
know.
take the Bangles.
Is there a difference between them?
Yeah, Bangles were better.
Oh, I don't know the Bangles or the Go-Go's. I thought they're the same person.
No. There's a lot of talk about this. The Smiths are not in,
Yeah.
which, I mean, most of the Smiths sucks,
Yeah.
but 2 of their songs are among the greatest rock and roll songs ever written. And of course, Morrissey's gone on to a pretty good career since then. All right, Psychedelic Furs. I happen to personally like them a lot and think they're more than a one-hit wonder with Pretty in Pink, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Psychedelic Furs in there. Matthew Sweet, our friend of the Daverhood, who consistently strung excellent rock music for about 2 decades. And by the way, I just saw a video of Matthew from a few months ago. He's getting better.
Oh,
He
good.
had a terrible stroke about 2 years ago. He's relearning to walk. He's doing painting therapy. He talks fine, and his mind is fine. It's just that there's physical things, and he went
What
through.
does he have? What's going on?
He's been in recovery and rehab for over a year now.
For what?
Stroke. He had a terrible stroke, and but it would be nice to see him, not because he's sick, not because he's recovering, not because blah blah blah, but if you take his body of work, he belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But it's a nomination process like everything else, so people probably could, even if they're nominated, they probably go through all that decision making and they decide.
But not even Jill Sobule And it would have been nice while she was still
You loved
alive.
her.
Yeah. And a hell of a... Okay, she belongs almost
She died in a
songwriter.
house fire. That was so odd, right? Carbon monoxide, or was that?
No,
We're
that
not
would be
fans.
nice. Carbon monoxide, great way to die. You fall asleep, you don't wake up, like that guy charging his phone. A fire,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
unless first the smoke
I
gets
don't
you.
understand why she was in her parents' house.
No, she was touring and staying with friends.
Oh, God.
And they thought,
She was out, right?
yeah, and she
That's
wasn't.
So, like, God.
Motorhead, no, not my kind of a band. They're not in.
Didn't Lemmy just die, the guy?
A couple of years ago, Lemmy's not in solo or in Motorhead, and this is an astonishing one. Husker Du, not in
Oh, yeah.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a first ballot or maybe second-year ballot. Richard Thompson, not in the Rock and Roll, let alone Fairport Convention, but no. Nick Cave is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
How the fuck do you put Sade in?
Nick Cave or Nick Drake?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know. Drake is more folk. I don't think he's in there. But Cave, Nick Cave, and the Bad Seeds, with and without the Bad Seeds, not nominated, not in the Rock and Roll. How does this not happen? I can understand if this was the first couple of years of the Hall of Fame, where they're just dealing with this backlog of geniuses from the 50s and 60s. And it's like, oh my God, Elvis, Beatles, Kinks, all right, we will have to wait, Dylan and Neil Young and Joni, and then or Jimi Hendrix. All right, maybe we'll put Janis Joplin in next year, and then fine, right? But we're a couple of decades into this stupid thing out in Cleveland, Ohio, and look, this is just the things that came to the top of my head, pretty much, of people who are not in there. So when I see Phil Collins solo, Mariah Carey, Sergei Luther, Luther Band, it's like, okay, maybe someday, but how can they usurp the places of real great pop, consistent rock and roll?
Why can't they do like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like genre? Like they have the billboards, right? So
Yeah.
you say we're going to follow not what you think you are, but the billboards. So how do you chart on the billboard? So if you're going to nominate someone, you look at where they appear most on the billboards.
That's fair.
So you have like whatever they are, pop, whatever the
Blues,
you
yeah.
divide people into those categories, and then you have one for like the Grammys, like solo and group. And you nominate people solo Hall of Fame.
Well, that they do, but they already do that. But it angers me, and it was just so funny because I was going to talk about Neil Sedaka anyway, and here it is, unfortunately, having to say goodbye to him, and maybe his family, because he has kids and grandkids, will get to see him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at some point soon.
People will nominate him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe what will happen is there's like a buzz on social media, and when the nominees get the ballot, if he's not on there, they'll add him.
Yeah, but there's been, I'm not a big Melissa Etheridge fan. She was very nice to talk to. Not my thing, but she is really rock and roll. She's had a consistent career. She's had some real big selling hits. Where there's been buzz and groundswell and all that sort of what are the Academy thinking of every year with her, and they still don't listen. So I don't know. Although actually she's on the nominations list again, so she's nominated. She just doesn't get in.
Well, that's that you can't control, right? Like it's always like who's the one for some award they kept getting? Oh, remember Susan Lucci? This is like 1902. She was nominated for like whatever in soap stuff for like 27 years.
That was a big show. She was the Emmy.
Yes.
Well, what do they call the step? Not the step bride. What's the
nominated? Oh, the bridesmaid.
Bridesmaid. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Susan Lucci and Melissa Etheridge.
But it happens. I mean.
And even now, Melissa Etheridge is more the husband, I guess. Ho-ho! But anywho, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me.
Look what you did again.
What did I knock off now? Put the eggs. No, I'll lose the egg. You know me. Put the egg on the tray.
No, because it'll fall in my drink. Okay.
You don't even have a drink
I
yet.
don't have a drink because it's poisoned with egg cancer now. I got the egg cancer in my cup. That cup has to be washed. Don't use it again. I have to wash it very well.
Now, speaking of music, and someone who maybe we'll get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day.
We're gonna do Greeley first, right?
Yeah, but I've got to do a huge thank
Oh,
you.
what a great, it looks like a great interview, right?
The Nielsen, yeah, but no, this is someone who is part rock and roll, part folk, part outsider kind of novelty comic music, and very much alive, very much well, and got to send out great amount of love to our friend of the Daverhood, Madison, Wisconsin outsider artist Art Paul Schlosser. Now, Art Paul, I goaded him last week on the program. I was kind of, because Art Paul was sending messages and things, and it's always great to hear from him, and saying, I've got a new song, I've got a new album, I've got this. And he has also been posting his artworks. And he's been on this thing of doing a painting a day, like a small painting, every day of the year. Kind of like Suzanne Laurie Parks wrote a play every day of the year for 365 days. She was commissioned for it. He has been he's been painting, completing a small painting every day for 365 days.
Oh, here, hold on, I'm gonna help you.
And he's had paintings of
Give me a second.
everyone from, he just did Dolly Parton, Jimi Hendrix, in his personal folk art style, which is a really great, interesting command of color.
Flat, flat, okay.
Oh, this is mine. This is the one. So I half jokingly, but I'm never completely. When I make a joke, there's always a little truth behind. I'll hold a bagel. There's a floral bagel.
So sure has flowers. It's pretty.
I said, Art Paul, you're painting all these paintings. You're doing this person, you're doing that person, you're doing this actor, this singer, this whatever. Yes. How about a painting of me? Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
And
careful what you wish for. You made the challenge.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen my Facebook feed, this week Art Paul
I love it.
painted.
I love it. It's beautiful, man.
A painting.
But you're also, what I like is that you're holding flowers. It's not mean.
I'm holding
and
flowers.
You're gesturing like you always do.
Yeah. So you see, I'm holding up a finger, and I was worried about that finger at first, but it's this one.
You're pointing.
Wait. Oh.
You were gesticulating.
Yeah. Let's make this a little bigger so I can really hold it up there.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, David.
Never been more handsome.
How does he paint every day, though? That's a lot.
That's considering that he's got to get everything out there and the colors and think of it and design.
He must paint early in the morning to get everything ready to show people midday, right?
Yeah. Well, think about it. When you watch those artists on TV, and within
I don't know. Oh, like Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, it probably took him 15 minutes to half hour to get his paints and his easel and his that palette ready, and then half an hour to paint the painting, and then clean your brushes, put it away.
We're gonna get it. I love
It probably takes Art Paul, an hour to 2 hours a day. Yeah.
I love it.
So thank you, Art Paul, for sharing. Can we get a gallery up of that you found the other day? I may have to find it on my own computer here.
Schlosser gallery. I'll get it for you.
Because I can also share screen and maybe do it on here instead. Maybe his Instagram
I have
page.
his Instagram here, Boopy.
Oh, here we yeah. Actually, it's probably better if I'm going to do it on here because you can actually see it.
His name,
I found it. I'm just going to have to share my screen again. Figure out how to do that. So.
Oh, and you're there. Look at there.
I am there.
Elizabeth Taylor and some kind of worm. What's the worm?
I don't know. Well, let's go through them, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Art Paul himself.
Like the color green because he painted the other guy green too.
There's Dolly Parton looking. Well.
David, what's the worm? I can't access.
All right, I'm going to go down. This is a. I'm going to need my glasses for this. I paint.
It says you paint
them
snakes your way. I'll paint them my way. It's a snake.
Oh, how cute!
That is.
I love that snake one. This is me, which has 5 hearts. Amazingly enough, people liking it. Well, yeah, but the Three Stooges got 10 hearts.
You're beautiful.
I actually love the Three Stooges one. Let's see who else. There's. I guess I'm not sure who that is. This is, of course, Jim Morrison. There he is. Very cool. A little bit here, let me down. I'm not sure which artist that is. And then here's Jimi Hendrix. I think that's pretty
Look
great.
what it says on his wiki, it says, upon discovering it was legal to busk on the street, he busked. And then his famous song, Have a Peanut Butter Sandwich.
Yes. And here's Janis
He
Joplin,
got a Madison Music Award.
who kind of looks like John Lennon there a little bit. And then, of course, Abraham Lincoln, which should have had this earlier in February. That's very neat.
He's gonna send you a CD too.
Oh, that's great. That's yeah. Oh, Jimmy Durante. I want that. God, I want to start collecting
No, just
Schlossers.
yourself, honey.
No, come on.
Narcissist's paradise, just yourself.
Here are some friends of the Daverhood who were kind of bitchy at me after their interview with Pete and Maura Kennedy. He drew them.
Good.
Uh,
I mean, think about it. It's like butts on things. You have to find one for every day. It's a lot.
look at this is really great. This is Bob Marley. Bob Marley. What you said he does love green. This is great. I'm honored that he chose to paint me alongside the likes of.
No, we should ask him if his favorite color is green.
I'm wondering, yeah.
I'm wondering, yeah.
Or maybe they sail on green at.
Oh yeah! Wow. No, but that's an evergreen. You're a lighter green.
And I'm among paintings of the Beagles and the Golden Girls.
Where? I don't keep scrolling.
Oh, come on. I need that painting.
No.
Oh, honey, come on.
No.
Look at B. Arthur. B. Arthur looks more like me than I do. Oh, these are great.
Oh, no, she looks like my granny.
And who else? There's W.C. Fields as a hydrocephalic baby, perhaps. Groucho's good, though. Young Groucho, I like that. A painting about Casino. But you can see he has a very particular aesthetic, and it's pretty great.
I like the Groucho one. That one's very good.
Willie Nelson, the man does good teeth. There's his teeth. And Art Paul looking good. I like the beard.
The leather jacket above Willie Nelson. Who's that?
Above Willie Nelson.
Yeah, who's that one?
Oh, that of course is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the French. No, that we got Bozo. On my feed, it's Bozo and let's see.
Whose one says? Oh, that's Fonzie. It says A.
Hey, Carol Channing. My God, diamonds are a girl's best friend. She was a friend of the Daverhood too.
Can we do Greeley crimes no time?
Yeah,
I need tea because you dropped an egg in the tea.
And Dr. Demento. He has one called Stay
of course,
Demented.
He's the the patriarch.
He is the God. He is the all-time God. So I am very, 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 very proud. And I think
David, like that,
Yeah.
you're among pretty hoity-toity people.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
Very, very. Thank you, Art Paul Schlosser, so much
You
for.
should do this for people where they could ask to be painted and paint them.
Yeah.
That would be a good, like imagine a party.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen it with brides where they have them paint the wedding. It's beautiful.
Well, you see them on the street corners in New York where they'll sketch you out and about.
Or something, if
Yeah.
there's like 50 people and 10 people do it.
Well, I was going to say that this was such an incredible honor because he did. Remember that when I used to go to parties, I think it was for the Outer Critics Circle,
Oh yeah.
and this cartoonist named Sam Norkin, who was.
Two Norkins, right?
I have two
Like
Norkins.
a young Norkin of you and an older Norkin.
Because he was very nice. He volunteered to sketch. He couldn't do all of us because there'd be like 150 people at the party. But you signed up, and if you made it, he would take about 10, 15 minutes, sketch you while you were sitting there in kind of a cartoon ink form. I have those framed. Norkin was kind of, it's not fair to say the poor man's Hirschfeld, because he was really good in his own right. But he was, second really to Hirschfeld in terms of drawing people of the theater. And I have two Norkins of me, because that's my narcissism. And now I will hopefully have an Art Paul Schlosser of me. Of me. So Banksy.
I would love to, maybe we could get it, and then we could get it I'd love to take it, and you could get it scanned onto like a tote bag.
Yes.
Or scanned onto you can do it. Like people are doing all sorts of stuff. You could get it printed on something.
I would, yeah. I just, because I look so good in that
Like
photo.
a t-shirt.
In that
I think
picture.
a t-shirt would be cute. You You can get it on a t-shirt and wear it.
Yeah, in the Daverhood,
Long
man.
or short sleeves, yeah.
So thank you so much, man. So it is a little bit after 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
When is your guest joining so I can tell people?
Well, do you want to do Greeley Times, or do you want your tea and we can...
We can do the Greeley Times. I just got to get your guest. I got to get the link for your guest.
Well, in that case, our guest will be joining us right around 10:30.
Okay, I'm going to say.
It'll be actor Jason E. Carmichael, who is in a play called Tide, T-I-E-D, not Tide like the detergent, Tide, at the Theatre Row Theater from early March, so starting like late this week, into mid-March. So it's a dark play, but with light moments too. It's all about this father in Birmingham, Alabama, whose child...
What's his full name so I can tweet him?
Well, it's Jason Carmichael, but sometimes he puts the E in there for his
Oh, yeah, I
acting.
see the E. I'm sorry, I messed up. Okay.
Jason E. Carmichael.
There must be another one in SAD, right?
Exactly. So,
Another Jason.
he's going to be with us talking to Rabbi Sol Solomon about the show and about his career. He's also a teacher, or has been. I think he's retired now, and has been in other things. So he'll talk about all of that on the show in probably about 20 minutes from now. Plus, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up, where we're going to Coburn, Colorado, for a poem. Plus, Rabbi Sol will do double duty, where he has a rabbinical reflection. Purim jokes return, and we'll have story time where I'm going to read some dad jokes in honor of Purim coming up on Monday. So lots of fun stuff. Reasons to stay in the Daverhood today.
I'm just writing stay tuned.
Yeah, please do. So before all of that, though, there's a segment that we do every week based on a column in the Greeley Tribune newspaper, real newspaper out in northern Colorado called the Greeley Trib. And they do have a sense of humor there. So they have a column every week where they round up things from the Evans and Greeley and Northern Colorado Police Department, actual phone calls that come in from people worried about stuff going on in their neighborhood. The funniest, most ridiculous ones, let me check it. Well, beautiful, yes. Actual phone calls that come into the Daverhood, that come into the Northern Colorado Police Department. The funniest ones go into the paper once a week, and we share them with you in a segment that we call Greeley. Yeah, I'm stretching this out because I need to search for it. Hold on. That we call Greeley Times.
Colorado, oh my goodness, what a wonderful city. Oh,
yeah. Greeley. Speaking about outsider music, so here's this week's, and we already have a phone call. I'm going to use the Maraca phone. Hold on. A caller reported receiving a quote weird phone call from out of state. Claiming that
out of state or out of space?
Out of state.
Okay.
Claiming that the call was from the Seattle Police Department.
Whoa.
They were advised the call was likely a scam. Because, of course, Seattle doesn't have a police department. Book phone. Oh, it's like a phone call. I'm being paged. A caller said an old man got out of his car, rang a neighbor's doorbell, and tried to wiggle the door open.
I love it. Oh, yeah.
Before going back to his car. The caller said the man did not appear to know where he was.
DoorDash is messed up, baby.
Burglars with Alzheimer's, film at 11. So, there you go. Oop, I need to wet my whistle for a moment. A caller heard. Oh, a caller. Bagel phone. All right, but you better tell me the whole story. Get it? The whole story? Yeah? No. This is raw humor. Yeah? No. Okay. See, I'm raising awareness.
I'm warming my egg tea, my cancer egg tea. Now.
To say the yeast. You know, if your bagel gets stolen, you need to change the locks. Get it? Yeah, okay. She's doing a smear campaign against me. But, all right, here we go. A caller heard that a girl at their school drives herself to work.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Wait. A girl at the caller's school drives herself to school. Sorry. The student wanted the driver to be safe and know that driving without a license can lead to a lot of trouble. This was third grade. No,
This was kindergarten.
Oh, boy. Ooh, a lot of calls today. Oh, my God. Ketchup phone. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say.
What?
You can say. The old jokes never get. All right. So a caller complained that a handyman did a bad job fixing their friend's driveway. And he felt that the friend was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So, of course, he calls the cops.
Yeah, of course, it's fraud, right?
All right. Would you?
I think like if he feels he stole money, yeah.
So you think that, so it's kind of more of a
Or
legit
maybe
call.
Maybe you call the bank. I don't know. Who do you call? The Better Business Bureau. They're not going to get your money back.
I mean, first you talk to your friend. I don't know.
Well, maybe he's,
I don't know.
maybe his friend dropped his egg in a tea and they're.
Yeah,
off, yeah.
that's we'll get you on that. Where did we get that egg anyway? Where was that from? We can get you another egg.
No, I got it from the school bookstore. It was the last one.
Oh no! Oh, I hope you snuck it through the exit. All right, another call. Another call. The Dave phone. Yeah. A man said that his nephew just trashed the caller's brother's house in Texas. So the caller's brother, his house was trashed by his nephew. The nephew also destroyed a grave site and was heading on a bus to Colorado.
Oh my God.
The caller's brother also reported the incident to police in Texas.
Sounds like a WrestleMania tour or some kind of.
Who trashes a grave?
Somebody's mad. Somebody's really mad.
Yeah, maybe he was head stoned. Dad, this is a grave joke. Because I have a grave sense of humor. Another phone call. Hold on. E.T. phone comb. Yeah.
No, you combed it the wrong way. Coming
Okay.
forward.
There we go.
Okay. Yes.
There we go.
What's the story? E.T.?
Hold on.
Is it E.T.?
Wait, I gotta get the pubes. There we go. A caller complained that their house guest, was flipping breakers, turning off the internet, and messing with the heating.
That's not a good guess.
No. Casper is not such a friendly ghost, I think.
No, I think it's like, I watch all these things about Airbnbs, right? When they all these, Airbnbs or whatever, when they guests leave and what they do.
Yeah.
But that's messed up.
Yeah, no, of course, it is very bad. You're starting to no, don't. Now, in order to because I'm very careful with Greeley Times because sometimes they go on vacation, so we're thankful to Andrea Grajeda at the Greeley Trib for putting these together. But we also have a surfeit, thank goodness, of stories from elsewhere, not Greeley, Colorado at all. That's from anywhere in the world, anywhere in the United States, all over the world. In fact, we go to Tokyo, Japan, for this story. Here's the potato phone. All right, and this is reported in Japan Today and Shepherd Express, which is where we get a lot of these elsewhere stories. And this one's going to make my wife angry, I promise you. Tori Yaro, which is a chain of pubs in Tokyo, posted a sign reading, quote, "This is an izakaya." We know that word. It's an eatery. It's a kind of a pub.
Oh, yeah.
For younger generations, under 40 only, unquote. The sign goes on to say that as long as at least one person in the group is 39 or younger, the group can stay.
That's good.
You're pro this?
No, I'm thinking, like, at least they allow a group to stay. So I would get everyone from the older adult center.
Yeah.
Get one person under 39, and everyone just flood the place.
Bring a baby.
I
Yeah.
would flood the place.
Yeah. So people are asking why would they have this policy, which is, I think you would admit, ageist.
Yeah, of course.
A spokesperson
obvious.
for this chain
Nobody
said.
can drop an egg in a teacup to know that.
So a spokesperson said, quote, older customers tend to make a lot of complaints.
Oh, God. It's getting worse.
I know. They say the restaurant is too noisy and such. So we chose to limit who comes in. Wow. It's like that old Jewish joke about like the Jewish women are at the table in the restaurant and the waiter comes over and says, is anything all right?
I think, it's, you can't, like, it's a, wow.
That said, the restaurant actually will allow over 40s if, quote, they're okay with the noise level and have the spirit of a 20-something, unquote.
It just gets worse and worse.
Can I mention what you do for a living?
No.
Oh.
David, I don't do anything for a living.
Now we go all the way from Japan to, what's that smell? New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey, for our next Elsewhere. I'll do the schmatophone. So this is a place in Camden, New Jersey, best known for its cheese steaks. Donkey's Place. Wouldn't you want to eat in a place called Donkey's Place?
Well, we have out here, we have the Golden Stable.
Yes, I was going to say that, the Corner Stable.
Like people like animal, I don't know.
There's actually a rib place, and I guess a steak place, about 2 miles from us, called the Corner Stable.
Yeah.
And the image, the drawing on the market is a horse.
Yeah.
A horse with another horse eating at a table.
I think the reason it's called that is because it's near a place that used to be a racetrack.
Oh, maybe,
So I think what happened was, like, we know there are animals on that place because we went to that fairground. So I think that the location of that is on the corner, and it might have been.
It itself might have been a stable, a horse stable back in the. But
it,
would you go to a rib place where the mascot is a horse?
Well, I guess people like it.
I know. They did. They took a group of people and they asked if they liked the idea of a horse mascot, and they said yes. But then again, it was a Gallup poll.
I was going to say they said nay.
Oh no! All right, wait. Donkey's Place. This place is also known for a displayed artifact, one that has recently gone missing.
Oh.
Someone pilfered their walrus penis.
Oh, jeez.
Swear to God. It's a conversation piece that the bartender would hand around to patrons to see if they could guess what it was. This time, the barkeep turned away, makes an actual drink, and the Arctic dick was gone. The owner says, quote, we don't want to press charges, we just want the thing back. Maybe there's a walrus somewhere. It's like, I got it back! Please, find a surgeon!
They would notice a walrus in a bar. That's terrible. I
Yeah.
think you shouldn't steal things.
You know what I say to that? Tusk. More Elsewhere on Greeley Times, ladies and gentlemen. This is also from the Shepherd Express, as reported by the Smoking Gun, going all the way to Largo, Florida. 29-year-old Ariana Moss really coveted her co-worker's 40-ounce light blue Stanley insulated cup.
You can get one. You can get one at Home Goods or TJ Maxx.
Like $20. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wanted this mug.
She just wanted the one that her friend had because it was her friend.
It was there,
or
and
because she liked it.
yeah, she liked it so much that surveillance video showed her eyeing the cup several times before nicking it and hiding it in her lunchbox.
That was
Not
a
only
big lunchbox. Those cups
for
are
40,
big.
yeah, they're just like the size of
yeah.
a 40-ouncer.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but earlier in the day,
You can't blame her. Some people really have. Remember, we had a friend whose first girlfriend or one girlfriend who used to steal stuff. So.
oh really? Well, don't. I know who you're. Yeah, but earlier in the same day, the thief told a coworker, "quote, That cup would be great to hold my breast milk, unquote.
Wait, who stole it? The Steelers
No,
said
the
that?
Steelers said that earlier in the
Why
day.
did she buy her own?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think you have time for one more.
Wouldn't she have a place to have for her milk? Or no, there's more. There's more.
Oh, I thought that. How could there be more?
So 3 days after she took the cup, Moss quit her job, and then on January 11th, she was arrested and charged with petty theft.
You don't think that seems like a lot for a cup? You quit your job. I mean, you could even ask the person and say, I really like. Okay, so I was one time in Colorado on the nursing floor. They had a dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up there because I wanted to use their dishwasher to put something in. And the guy was telling me, before we had all these insulated cup trends, he was a hiker. And he said, look, this is an insulated cup. It'll keep your stuff warm. And I was like, oh, that's great, And I said, but I don't know where to get it. And he said, it just came out of the dishwasher, take it. He gave me his cup. I mean,
Yeah.
if she would have said, I need that cup for my whatever.
No, she can go buy the freaking cup. It's more than $20. It's probably
given
it's a
it to her
Stanley.
and then bought another one.
She could have gone to the NHL,
Yeah.
and they would have given her a Stanley Cup. Elsewhere,
Oh, a lot of people are reacting to your Neil Sedaka.
that
It's sadness that he's gone.
So elsewhere, we're going to stay in Florida. We're going to go from Largo to Walton Beach in Florida. Police officers responded to reports of battery, as opposed to an electric charger,
No, that's bad.
at the Palms of Emerald Coast Massage Parlor.
That sounds so pretty. What? Yeah.
One employee,
Uh-oh.
Fang Wang, became hostile.
Uh-oh.
So the cops tried to detain her, so she, quote,
No.
she started, quote, defecating towards officers to evade arrest.
How do you do that?
I don't know. This is how?
I don't. This is what I don't get. Like all these people who do bodily secretions like poop or pee on demand. I could see peeing.
I can say peeing,
Peeing's easy.
or for a girl like that, maybe squirting. But
breathing
Jesus
or
Christ.
breathing, I mean, I don't know how people do that.
By the way, it didn't work. She was arrested for battery and resisting arrest and was held in the Okaloosa County Jail without bond.
I feel bad for the people in the cell with her.
I feel bad for her. Her life is obviously a shit show. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. How can you defecate towards somebody?
Well, remember you saw that thing in Kohl's. You told me.
Oh, but that probably happens one time in a person's life where you have explosive. Yeah.
I don't know. That person needs to.
You can't just magically
They
make
need
it
medical
happen.
Help. Yeah.
I mean, some people can fart like
But
that.
obviously, she was not feeling well, so maybe there was some. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody put an egg in her tea. Cancer.
I'm never going to hear the end of it. This and the antlers and then losing the bag yesterday.
I
Oh,
never brought up the losing the bag yesterday only once. You brought it
I brought it up. I did.
And the antlers are just for you to be cute on your show. Give you more cuteness and more funny. You
Yeah.
like the
No,
fun.
I'll find them. I hope I'll find them.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, one last elsewhere, and then we're going to wrap up
sorry.
the segment and bring on the guest.
Listen to this.
See, you belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You more than Luther
No,
Vandross.
us as a group. It could be a group.
We go to Fairfax County Now, is the name of the paper, for a story that is not so far from us, Washington, D.C. Oh, ho. Yeah. Fail to the bus driver, bus driver, bus driver. Fail to the bus driver, man. Now, I would do this, so that this worries me a bit.
What?
On January 19th of this year, passengers on a Best bus from New York's Penn Station.
Oh, it's the cheap
One of
bus,
those, yeah. From New York's Penn Station to Washington, D.C.'s Union Station, well, they took an unwanted scenic route.
Oh, no.
The unnamed bus driver refused to stop in Washington, D.C.,
Wow.
and instead took everyone to the Vienna, Virginia station about 20 miles away.
Whoa.
Passengers who realized that the bus was being driven speedily and erratically, and that they weren't being taken where they were paying to go, started calling the company and then the police. The driver then screamed at them, "I don't get paid enough! I have a family to go home to and don't have time to stop in D.C.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
So this is how those buses are. I was on like Megabus, one of the buses going from New York to Philly when I taught in Philly.
Yeah.
And we literally went to a toll booth and stripped off a side panel of the bus. It was a double decker.
Yeah.
It had been an hour late. The cops come. Nobody would get off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Every single passenger refused to get off the bus, and the police couldn't get us off the bus, and they had to drive to Philly with this thing missing. And we were so close. We were like maybe 10 minutes away.
But
nobody wanted. And I was like, how funny. Like people were like, we waited an hour. We took a long route. And the guy like knew, like he
tried to angle it in.
Like our friend Susan, when she was getting coffee and she dented the side of her car because she turned into the
I've done, yeah.
So it happened. So, but it was funny because a double decker bus, like nobody would leave. It was so funny, and they called the cops, and people were like, we're not leaving. I was like, this is like a New York feeling moment.
But it is an accident. I mean, the driver's supposed to stop, but
well, yeah, but nobody would get off the bus. What are you gonna do?
So when this particular bus driver stopped in Vienna, Virginia, not Washington, D.C.
He's going home.
And thank God, he allowed everybody to deboard. The bus driver then gave all of them a finger and shouted, "I'm the captain of this ship!"
You know what? Work stress can get to people.
Really, you think? You think?
I mean, he's driving people all the time, I'm sure.
And then he took off. Best Bus found another driver to take the Strandies to D.C. and gave them free vouchers for their troubles. The incident is under investigation. So I'm always thinking we should probably, when we have to go to New York, jump on one of these buses. Because
I've done it. So I did it one time. So you can get a cheaper bus in Chinatown that would take you to Philly. But I was going to go on the bus, and at that time, the one owner had shot the other one.
I remember that.
It was like
it was a tongue war.
No, it was a turf war of who gets this and thing. But we had it. I've taken those buses from the cheapest to the Greyhound to Amtrak to no name bus that
Yeah, I don't mind them. I mean, it's like sometimes we'll take a car service from here to New York when we want to go in, and then I'll see in the lane right next to us a megabus. And I'm realizing that's like $600 cheaper.
No, but I will tell you, it's a bit.
It's not. Yeah, it can be.
I once had a guy next to me, and I couldn't avoid him. He had a bad, Joan Rivers. They had cut his trach.
Oh, yeah.
And he spent the whole time telling me about the surgery. That was bad. Many times in Philly, if I get it wrong, I could grade. I would be grading, and by the time I get to New York, I'd have my stuff graded. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bus. It's a bus. Now, if you're flying airplane, it's basically a bus in the air. That's what everybody complains about. Sorry.
What time it is?
Well, almost time for the interview. But I want to do one more Greeley time, and then we'll load that up. But let's get back to Greeley, though. This is one more story
That's the Greeley Bell.
from Colorado, northern Colorado. Here's the Greeley Bell. Let's do the pig phone. A woman. Speaking of buses, a woman said that, where is this? She was injured after riding in a city-operated bus because the vehicle hit a speed bump too fast.
Oh.
This whole thing started as a misdemeanor, but then went to major crimes.
Yeah.
Well, it was bumped up. Ladies and gentlemen, that, and only that, can be Greeley Times on Dave's Gone By.
Nobody loves Greeley News. She's like, Greeley News.
Who said?
Nomi Rayner Kuttner Johnson.
Oh, no! Hey, Nomi from, speaking of Colorado. Greeley Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
Oh, he was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is very glad is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee, yippee, yippee.
It is Saturday, February 28th, 2026. I'm Dave Lefkowitz, and you, and all of you are watching the 1022nd episode of the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream, with me and my darling and wonderful wife, and all of you watching at home. Want to let you know that coming up, we have Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We have story time with some more jokes. What else do we have? We may do Bunny and Watch. We have Rabbi Sol coming on with some Purim jokes of his own and their interpretations. But before that, Rabbi Sol is here to do our centerpiece of this week's show. A fella named Jason E. Carmichael. He is an actor, an award-winning actor. In fact, award-winning for the very show that he's going to be doing off-Broadway later this week for the next couple of weeks at the Theater Row Theater. The play is called Tide, and he's going to tell us all about it. He's going to talk with the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol. So let me share my screen so I can get this going up. That's Neil Sedaka. We heard from him before. Now let's get... where is he? Here he is. So, without further ado or don't, and by the way, thank you so much to Audrey Ross, the publicity person, for setting up this interview in the Daverhood with Jason Carmichael. Oh, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And how delighted I am to have this lovely, smiling fellow in front of me. And look, we're dressed alike. Great minds, I think, great actors think alike. Because this man, you're going to want to see him act. He's in an off-Broadway show called Tide, T-I-E-D, that you're going to have to go see. That is going to be playing, where is it? Wait, I had it, at the Alpha Omega Studio on East 4th Street from early March through to late March. Let me tell you about Jason Carmichael. He has been mostly in the Houston area. He's acted at the Alley Theater. He's done a bunch of shows at the Ensemble Theater, which is dedicated to African-American plays. But the main thing about Tide is he won the Houston Press Best Actor Award for the show that he is now doing in New York. As a matter of fact, reviewing the play, Houston Press wrote, "The piece leaves one breathless with awe in appreciation of both actor and author." So, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, how we are fit to be tied to Jason Carmichael. Shalom, Jason!
Shalom. My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being with us. And mazel tov on the show, which this play, Tide, has been in development for at least half a decade. I seem to remember, I saw something about it in 2020. Does it go back even before then, or when?
My involvement is about the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. I would say maybe 5 years. It started, Crystal Ray, the playwright, had a reading of it. And that's how I first got involved. And I think that first reading was about 5 years ago. And then we had several other readings, and we did we filmed certain sections of it. And then ultimately we had some producers interested in doing the full show as a production. And I was like, as a production, you mean not reading? Because it was so dense. I was like, I was a little afraid, but it was a wonderful challenge. And that every time we've done it, it's led to another opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a great, great ride. Yeah.
And
we,
also,
most recently.
Yeah, please. Where was it before? It's been in Houston, but yeah.
It's been in Houston, and then in November, we were in the United Solo Festival in New York.
Yes.
And Crystal won Best Emerging Playwright, and I won Best Actor of the festival. And then it was there that the producer from Alpha Omega Theatrical Dance Company saw the show, which has led to this 3-week run that's coming up.
Now, is there dance in the show? I'm a little surprised that it's Alpha Omega dance. It's not just the space, but is there any dance in the piece?
Not really. I mean, there are some moments where my character, Daniel, he's hearing an ancient song in his head. In his sleep, in his dreams, whenever he cuts on the water.
This happens to me all the time.
And so
yes.
when those, exactly. So when those drums come in from the ancient song that he hears, he does dance. But it's not a dance piece. Alpha Omega has a program called Share the Stage, where they bring in theatrical selections to kind of augment their season during this time of year. And we were selected to be a part of that Share the Stage experience.
By the way, I want to say mazel tov on this. I do want to say that we hear you just fine. Visually, you're kind of voguing. So at least we have the audio that's working okay. It sounds, if this is bothering people watching at home, make believe it's radio. Just say, oh, wait,
yes, I apologize for that.
Yeah, we tried it in another room. We tried it in an outhouse in a gas station. It just didn't work there either. We tried it. This is, at least we have a nice visual, and you look really great. So we're going to go with what we got. At least we hear you just fine. But we haven't spoken yet about the unfortunate, sad story that the play Tide is based upon. So please, who do you play, and what is the context of the show?
My character's name is Daniel, and it's a fictionalized account of one of the fathers of one of the 4 little girls that was killed in the 1968 church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, which is known as the 4 little girls. There were 4 little girls that were in the bathroom, and the church was bombed, and they were killed. And so this story imagines the grieving process of one of the fathers of the 4 little girls. So although it's based on historical events, and the research has been drawn from the different fathers of the different little girls, the composite is kind of a fictionalized character that is the father of one of these little girls. And so the play it's kind of a memory play, and it's also rooted in now and looking toward the future, because he experiences the bombing, and then going through the grieving process, his initial impulse is to get revenge against the men that killed his daughter. But his faith presents an obstacle to that solution. And so it's really about how he deals with the grief without resorting to revenge and violence. And what he has to kind of unpack in his life with his family and his remaining daughter, who is still alive, and his wife. So he's trying to be present for his family, and yet how does he mourn the loss of his life?
Revenge and all that, and religion is keeping him from doing the kind of revenge that he wants. He should be Jewish, because Jews would say eye for an eye. Just go kill him and then go with your family, go have a picnic. The problem is he's Baptist, so it's a very... But do you buy... I'm sure the play makes a very convincing case of the journey that he goes through. But if God forbid... do you have children? Jason, do you have any?
I do have a son, yes.
So I only want to ask the question...
I have one...
If God forbid, would religion keep you from striking down?
It would be a very difficult decision. If it was, yes, if it was something that was caused by an individual or some individuals. In the moment, I would say I would react impulsively and do whatever I needed to do. And ultimately, I like to think of myself as a man of peace, and I would have to pray on it really hard to try to make that choice as opposed to just responding organically. But it would be difficult. And I can't say that I would be able to do it like Daniel did, because there comes a point in the play when he is actually confronted with one of the men who he knows put the dynamite in under the church and blew up the little girl's bathroom. And he's standing in front of his house. And so the second act is about him making plans to kill this man. And not to give too much away, but those plans are thwarted because he realizes the damage it could do to his daughter that's still living and his wife. And so that's where I say, in that moment on the porch when he saw him, the impulse was to kill, and he attempted to do so. But memories of his baby girl that he hadn't had for a while slow him down. And so that's kind of how it unfolds from there.
This sounds like a hell of a play. We want to remind people that it's called Tide, and it's a one-person show. You're a man. You're one-man show. We can't even use man, woman, anymore. You're a man, right? Man?
Yeah.
Yes. One-man show, and it's being
One-man
done
show.
at the Omega Studio on East 4th Street, starting on March 6th and running through March 22nd. So let me ask you, the journey that, as you said, you've been with the play for 4 years. How has it and you changed, if at all, from post-reading, when it was what it is now, but have there been changes, cuts, revisions, etc., or changes to your performance over the past 4 years?
Well, there certainly have been cuts. Even when we first started putting it together, we wanted to come in at it's an hour and a half with no intermission, and so the original cut was longer than that. And in the original cut, the character actually kind of forms an organization similar to the Black Panthers, and there's a whole section on their planning and all of that. And in the process of getting ready for the first production, I felt that we didn't need to we needed to stay with Daniel and his process of grieving and healing, not the detour into the organization and the revolution type of material, which is valid and still in the book. But I didn't think it was the through line that we wanted to follow. And so that was one major way that it changed. I do play multiple characters, like everybody that I talk about, from my three brothers to my father to my daughters to my wife, all of those people. But there was also a point in the beginning where, after we'd done several readings as a one-person show, some of the feedback was maybe the author should try it as a multiple cast character regular
More
play.
traditional, yeah.
More traditional. But there was enough pushback from the other side that no, it's so powerful as it is. So she played with that idea for a while, and there was a version that had multiple characters. And we read that a couple of times, but she went back to the one-man show format because that seemed to be the strongest and worked the best. And then the performance of it, it's been such a mountain. So, literally the first time I did it, I got sick. And we had to postpone the opening for 1 week. And I am convinced that it was such an overwhelming process that I got sick. And so, but once we got over the mountain and did it, and it was so well received, and I kind of got it in my bones. I was like, okay, I was able to climb that mountain. So that was the challenge of the beginning, was just, as an actor, can I do this? Can I do it the way that I see it in my mind, and make this beautiful theater come to life?
Not to make a too obvious pun, but you have been to the mountaintop. I mean, it's
Exactly.
It's a call
It's
out,
so-
but
it's
you
so
get
true.
it. You know. But here's the
Absolutely.
other thing. If you're playing all these different characters, like what is your key to flip from, say, the dad to one of the daughters? Do you usually just have to do one thing that cues the audience, either with your voice or with an inflection, or to go from one to the other like this?
Yes, and sometimes it is just that quick within the same conversation.
Right.
I'm going back and forth, and so sometimes there's a trigger a word or a gesture. For example, my character's father in the original production, one of the pieces of business that we had was that he whittled. He was whittling, and so when he would when he would come to the fore, there'd be the whittling. And then my character was maybe doing something, drinking a Coke or reading the paper or what have you. And then for my daughter that's deceased, one of the things that kind of came up in the initial rehearsal process was that we have a doll that was my daughter's doll, but that I have kept and kind of represents the daughter. So the doll became a very important tool for me, because at first Crystal, the author, she did not like the doll. We had the costume designer made the doll, and it's kind of like let's say like a Black Raggedy Ann doll, just as an example. So Crystal, the playwright, she didn't like the doll because she thought it looked like a tar baby.
Oh, yeah.
She just was against the doll. But then they kind of put some eyelashes on her, and they got her cute. And then once she kind of saw how I was able to work with the doll, because it really helped me. And then she now, she has a hard time giving up the doll. I'm going to have to get it from her when I come to New York again, because she loves the doll. But it became an integral part of the show. So that was one of my triggers to help me get into my daughter, or even looking at it, because we have the set, there's 2 rocking chairs, my rocking chair and then the little child's rocking chair that the doll sits in. And so there were different times when I use the doll, pick up the doll, talk to the doll, or the doll serves as a reminder to kind of help me transition into, another moment, another character.
And what about your voice? When you're a girl, do you have a specifically, very significantly, do you go, I like it is, or what? Or what?
Very much so. The voices are different. Yes. So my wife's voice, my father's voice, both daughters' voices, I try to make them appropriate to the character. There are kind of incidental characters, the perpetrators of the crime, another gentleman who's kind of helps me throughout the play. There's a moment where, after the bombing, where I'm trying to just keep on with life as usual. I go back to work the next week, but I don't have on my tie, because one of my last memories of my youngest daughter was when she was telling me that she was reading a book in her class. Her teacher has this book, and it has different cultures from all over the world. And in none of the pictures of the people from Africa did she see anybody wearing a tie. And she's like, not even the chiefs, And so she was saying, maybe where we come from, they don't wear ties. And so this sticks with the father, and they kind of get rid of a lot of his ties. So when he goes back to work after the bombing, he doesn't have on his tie. And everybody in the office mentions it. He's chastised by his boss, and he kind of goes to the Sears to get a new tie. But while he's doing that, he's having it's the beginning of his breakdown. And so it's a very powerful kind of symbolically, the tie and how that memory from his daughter changes him. And
just this moment, it occurs to me the name of the show is Tide, which...
and that's where it comes from.
Yeah,
yes.
Totally different idea. Got it. Wow. It's all these different things. I love in 90 minutes, it goes in all these places. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that you have. We'll get back to Tide and keep encouraging people to see it. But you've been an actor for many years, right? In fact, you studied acting at Howard University. You got your bachelor's there. So what were one or two of the most important things that you learned in terms of performance or theater itself or your life when learning at Howard?
Well, it was a wonderful experience for me. My brother was 3 years older than I am. He went to Howard. My father went to Howard Law School, so it was kind of in the family. And I grew up in Houston in a predominantly white neighborhood from when I was 2 all the way up until when I went to college. So I really wanted to, and predominantly white schools. at that time, which you could have public schools that were predominantly white. Now, not so much. It's, times have changed. But at that time, our neighborhood, my schools were predominantly white. And I wanted the experience of going to a black university. And I knew Howard's reputation, and particularly in their theater department and their alumni. And so it was a choice I'm very glad I made. I would say, in terms of what I learned, one of the best things I learned, we had, of course, different professors every year, and they each had a different line of teaching. So one of my professors was very Stanislavski and beats and the method and all of that. And then I had another professor who was very, very spiritual. His whole approach to acting was out-of-body transcendence and spirituality, meditation. And that was very impactful for me. One of the things that he taught was living in between the breaths. That between the inhale and the exhale is the true you.
See, for me, between the inhale and the exhale is a little bit of vomit, and I have to be very careful with, it's just phlegm, just constant phlegm.
Exactly.
But it's great that you got the two they're not polar opposites, but that they're very different approaches to just giving a believable, internalized, not fake performance, whether it's spiritual or what are you doing between this beat and this beat. Yeah.
Right. And then there was another aspect where I had a professor. One of my professors was one of my two mentors. One was Joseph A. Walker, who was the first black man to win a Tony Award for writing. He wrote The River Niger, which was a Broadway play in the 70s. He was one of my professors. And then another one was Al Freeman Jr., who was an actor he was on One Life to Live. He played Elijah Muhammad in Malcolm X, Spike Lee's movie. He was an actor for many, many years publicly, and he was one of my professors. So Joe Walker, his approach to acting was all Afrocentric, from the griot, the ritual point of view of acting, how it impacts the community, your role as a storyteller in the community. That was Joe Walker. Voodoo rituals, rites, all kind of things. We did shows about all of that. And then there was Al, who really taught me about how you stay your core as an actor, whether your medium is on the stage or in film. And one of the things he talked about was the movement of thought, and how on the stage you have to show what you're thinking so the audience can see it. But on film, you just have to think it because the camera will catch it. And so all of those professors combined, and different things really led me to where I feel like I'm comfortable with, this is my style, that I have a way that I approach the craft, which is constructed from all that input,
And you have done other stage work, of course, in ensemble. You've done film work, too. You were in a movie that sounds really interesting called I Voted. What was that? Was that...
It's great, and I hope it gets a distribution soon. We'll see. It's won several awards at different film festivals, but it's a wonderful premise. And the premise is it takes place at a polling location. And so the whole film takes place inside like a school gymnasium, where the polling booths are set up. And so during the voting process, the city goes on lockdown. There's some crisis going on in the city. We don't know what it is, but the city's on lockdown. And so everybody in the polling location is locked together until further notice. And of course, they're not supposed to discuss politics and what have you. But as time goes on, you can't keep the conversations silent. And ultimately, it becomes a powder keg in this voting location that results in horrible violence, actually.
Oh, I thought this was a comedy, but like, well, it's okay, fine.
It starts off that way. It starts off light, kind of situational comedy, different points of view, but it turns. And when it turns, it turns very ugly. And it's such a strong piece about our current political state. I mean, because the two factions, my character, for example, he's the peacemaker. Throughout the entire film, he's trying to be the peacemaker between the two sides who are getting increasingly combative. But every character has like a secret. And so my character's secret is that he is a Muslim, but he is hiding that. Since 9/11, he's decided to hide that. And so his girls are not being raised as Muslim, but his wife is a Muslim, and they practice their faith pretty much in private. And he doesn't use his birth name. And so what he and his neighbor are kind of the voting, like the poll watchers, who work at the polling location.
Yeah.
And so they've been friends for 10 years. The neighbor is a very conservative white man, ex-military. And it comes out in this discussion that I am a Muslim and I've been hiding this. So every character's secret kind of comes out. And it's really powerful. It's really powerful.
Speaking of politics, let's go there a little bit, because are you in Houston now, or are you in New York already? You're in...
I'm in Houston. Yeah. I live in Houston, and I'm going to New York. Next week I'll be flying. But I'm living in Houston.
You're living and have for many, live and work and teach there. So politically, we think of Texas as being, because of your governor and all of this, a certain conservative-ish, Trump-ish kind of way. I imagine this doesn't jibe necessarily with your personal political convictions. So how do you navigate being, an actor and a person in Texas and Houston that is not where you are mentally at?
Well, I would say this about Houston. It is the most diverse city in the country. And I mean, it's the fourth largest, but it's very diverse. And I would say maybe a little bit less red than other cities in Texas.
Well, Austin can go bluish. And funny,
Austin
bluish, but yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Bluish, yes. But it still is what it is. And yes, it's Texas. It's where we grew up. It's Texas. So I'm very familiar with that attitude and that, like I brought up growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, so I've always kind of been, we wear the mask, as James Weldon Johnson said, and dealing with that duality. I've always, all my life, had to deal with that, seeing people, for what they are or what they think they are, but then, growing up with people who might tell derogatory black jokes, but then say to me, oh, but not you, you're different. Or you talk different, so I've grown up with that.
This is exactly what will be saying about you this whole week when I'm promoting this. I'm kidding.
He's not like them. Yeah, and I grew up with that, and so I've seen that. So like now in our present day, under the present president, I remember when he was first elected. And there were people, friends of mine, who were so shocked and in disbelief. I was not in disbelief because I knew after 2 terms of President Obama, I was like, the pendulum has to swing back. This country cannot take this. We're going to swing back. Now, I didn't know it was going to be quite a retrograde swing back as it has become, but I knew that was coming. And when you see the response of people, when you see all of the racism that's bubbling up, that's been given permission now in this country, I see it as beyond Trump. Because to me, the real issue is he got there. Now you can say he cheated or I'm not going to have that conversation. However, he got there. There were enough people supporting him and still believing his lies. It was like he's somebody that literally, it doesn't matter. I was talking to a friend of mine about the State of the Union last night. I'm like, well, I'm not going to watch it. All he does is lie. And then when you confront him on his lies, he just calls that fake news. There's no way to deal with somebody like that.
Well, that's a politician. Every politician is going to say what, especially in a State of the Union address. But I do hear what you're saying. So,
Yeah.
have you, not to bring up ugly, but the play itself is ugly and the film is ugly. So, I mean, you've experienced direct, overt racism in your life as a person and a performer?
Yes. Certainly as a person, direct. I mean, I remember, again, being very, maybe 10 or younger. My brother and I used to get chased from school. You know, we would get chased from school. We had brick thrown through our window with a message taped around it. You know, and this wasn't the 60s. I grew up in, you know, I was born in 68, but I grew up in 70s, 80s, you know. So we got bricks through our window. We were chased from school. And I remember my dad, when we told him about how we were getting chased from school, he told us to stop running, which as a child, I could not understand that. I was like, well, then they'll catch us if we stop running. He's like, no, you don't be afraid. Don't run. They won't chase you if you don't run. So I thought, no, they'll catch us. I couldn't understand what he was saying. And then, but when we got that brick thrown through the window, I remember my dad ran out the house and he chased them down. and he chased them down all the way to their house in Little League. So there were things like that. I remember being in elementary school, kids used to, one kid, he used to always pretend to sneeze. And then he would, chew, he would say a racial derogative in the middle of his sneeze. That was like his joke. And everybody would laugh. I remember in high school.
Well, to be fair, he did have.
I was already acting, you know.
Yeah, no, but to be fair, that kid did have Tourette's. So he gets a clean bill. Just kidding.
Yes.
Timely joke.
That's funny because literally last night I was just saying that to another friend of mine. I was like, there's going to be a whole lot of undiagnosed cases of Tourette's that are about to come out right now. We have the new crutch, baby, Tourette's.
Okay.
I want to say. Yeah, exactly. So it is timely, and I have experienced that. And I remember a kid in high school. I was acting, and there's an article about me in the yearbook, and blah blah blah. I was kind of popular, and I was always. This is maybe the most telling thing that it just hit me. I was known for my smile, always smiling.
Yeah.
And I remember one day walking down the hallway, and I was in student government, and one of the kids, my high school in particular, not only was it predominantly white, but at that time was predominantly Jewish. And the area where it was in Houston called Meyerland, that whole area was Jewish. My school was predominantly Jewish. And so this kid, David Middleman, I'll never forget, walking down the hall, and this was one particular day I wasn't smiling. For whatever reason, I was just, not putting on the...
Yeah.
And so he said, Jason, what's wrong? Why don't you flash your big black smile? And I remember thinking, I didn't say anything, but I remember thinking at the time, my smile is whiter than yours.
Yeah.
My smile is not black. My smile is white.
Mine is why I eat Oreo cookies. There are no ground. I eat 3 Oreo cookies. Right? It's just, it's awful horrible.
It's a mess.
Yeah. And I never brush nor floss, so it stays that way for days. It's horrifying. Bad times, but yeah. But
that reminds me, actually, what you just said is so funny. There's a time in the play in Tide when my character, when he starts hearing this ancient song from Africa in his head, doesn't know where it's coming from. He hears it every time he turns on the water. So every time he hears water, it's like the waters of the Middle Passage calling him back to Africa, right? So because he gets tired of hearing the song in his head, he stops bathing, brushing his teeth. Oh. He doesn't want to hear any water. And so, he becomes extremely, over the course of 3 weeks, a little
he
fussy.
doesn't flush
That's
the
what it
toilet.
reminded me of.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
blushing and brushing and flossing or washing or anything. And so at one point he asks his wife, after maybe 3 weeks of this, to draw him up a bath. And she can't believe it, that it's a sign of him coming back a bit. And that's when he first decides to get in the tub and to embrace the ancestor song and learn it for the first time. And so it's a really beautiful
It just makes me
transition.
very happy now that one of your professors at Howard wasn't method. Because then you said, for 3 weeks now, no flushing, no bathing, no anything. Just roll around in your own fecal matter. And that's how you get into the parts. If Brando could do it, if De Niro could do it, Jason E. Carmichael, he can definitely do it.
That's exactly right.
Do you go by, is it, because sometimes I see Jason E. Carmichael. Is the E there because of equity? There's another Jason Carmichael, and I can pop the E in there?
Well, yes, that is true. But E is also my middle name is Eugene, which is my father's name.
Oh.
And so when I found out and I lived in Los Angeles for maybe 20 years. So when I was in LA, actually, it wasn't equity, it was SAG. At the time, I was joining the Screen Actors Guild. And there was another Jason Carmichael. And so that's when I adopted my middle initial, Jason E. Carmichael. And then my father subsequently has passed. That's what actually brought me back to Houston after living in Los Angeles for 20 years. My mom was my dad's main caregiver, and then she got breast cancer. So even though I have another brother here in Houston, they wanted me to come back for a while. I came back and kind of thought I would just be home for a while, and then I'd go back to LA. But things actually have gone very well in Houston, so I've just, I've stayed here. But
and you teach. You are teaching children and young people performance. Is that your where and how and yeah?
Actually,
no.
Mainly, I don't teach anymore.
Oh. That is the most religious moment of the whole entire. Yes.
Thank you, Lord. But I did for a long time. But when I started teaching performance, I taught Shakespeare specifically to elementary school kids and middle school kids, because I had this whole program where I believe that the younger you introduce kids to Shakespeare, the better, because by the time they get to high school, when it's in the curriculum, they're so caught up by the way of speaking, they kind of miss the story and the fun and the rhythm and the rhyme and the wizards and the witches and all that stuff. So I used to teach Shakespeare to kids, and then that kind of led to ultimately when I became a regular English teacher in middle school. So I did not teach very much performance once I became a regular teacher. I always had my English students do a play every year, but I was not the theater teacher. So I taught English for a long time in Los Angeles. And then when I moved back to Houston, I had been told that the LA credential, that LA and New York teaching credentials were reciprocal all over the world, all over the country. That's what I told.
Yeah.
But when I moved back to Texas, that had changed. And
So
I was
you need a whole new license if you wanted to. Yes.
Exactly. And I said, I'm not doing that. So I worked at a charter school for a while, where I had my sole responsibility for a whole year was to be with this second grade student who had
one student
who had extremely intense anger management issues.
I have no idea what the hell that is like. Yeah.
Right. He had broken the principal's nose. He had I'm talking about extreme, broken laptops, brandished scissors on teachers. He'd stabbed a student with a pencil. I mean, he'd thrown his sister down the stairs, second grade. And so my whole job was to be with this boy.
And just sit on him. Just 8 hours, let him get up to pee and eat lunch, and then just sit on him.
Literally. I had to take a special course to learn how to hold him if he had an outbreak. And it was very intense. And I remember because like his parents, they didn't want to give him medication. The mother's response was she beat him all the time. The father would never touch him, but he was afraid of him. So it's like the father didn't have any control.
The
and
father was
mother
afraid of the child, or vice versa?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
The father was afraid of the child. And he didn't think the response was to be physical with the child, but the mother did. The mother was like, we're going to beat it out of him. The father just kind of retreated. And so it was he would come and talk to me after school and just break down into tears. I got very close with the family. They ultimately decided to put him on medication, and maybe after about 3 months it took when he started to trust me, and he got better. And just recently I saw the principal who had her nose broken from that school. And it's been about 10 years when I first got back to Houston. And that boy graduated from high school. And that was like one of my proudest moments as a teacher. So I thought that boy's going to be dead or in jail. There's no way he's going to survive.
Of course,
he's just too violent.
He could have gotten a diploma because everybody was afraid not to give him an A. It's like,
somehow he got through.
However, he
somehow
did.
he got through it.
No, not B minus, not B minus. Kidding. God bless you. I mean, I tried, I've tried teaching younger. Please don't even. I can't even teach 70-year-olds, let alone. But we are talking with Jason E. for Eugene Carmichael, whom you can see. Notice the use of whom you can see in the play Tide, which is being done at the Alpha Omega Studio in New York. It's 70 East 4th Street, so it's around where like New York Theater Workshop is. And what else? La Mama's kind of down in that area.
I think NYU is not too far from there.
Yeah, and a couple of parts. NYU's everywhere. NYU owns half of Greenwich Village.
There you go. There you go.
You cough and you're hitting an NYU student there. But it's happening from March 6th to March 22nd. So you're going to want to get tickets. Obviously, you're going to want to see this man act, and you're going to want to see this particular play. So our last question for you, Jason E. Carmichael, is: do you have a particular favorite Shakespeare play?
Yes, I do, and it's a close battle, but my favorite, I would have to say, is The Tempest.
Cymbeline. No, I'm kidding. What was that?
Yeah, which I love too. I love Cymbeline too. The Tempest is probably number one for me. Number two, Antony and Cleopatra, and number three, Othello. But I also love very much Titus Andronicus, which is so violent it's never produced. But about Shakespeare, when I was teaching Shakespeare, I had my curriculum that I had, which I called Moor Shakespeare, Moor, Moor Shakespeare. And so I pulled the Moors from Titus Andronicus, Aaron the Moor, of course, Othello, and then the Prince of Morocco from Merchant of Venice, and some other characters. I would use Caliban because he was a slave and different. So I would pull the different, what I would say, the black characters from Shakespeare. And I used to teach them this way. And so, but I always loved, before I even knew it was Shakespeare's last play, The Tempest always touched me. Midsummer Night's Dream, before I was teaching Shakespeare, we used to perform. I was with a traveling troupe, and we performed, Shakespeare all over Los Angeles, all over California for kids. And so, of course, Midsummer Night's Dream was our big, everybody wanted to see Midsummer Night's Dream. We did it all the time. But to me, The Tempest has even more magic, and I love the way it deals with colonialism, which is really what's the underbelly of that, and I love that at the end of it, Prospero, he drowns his book. And to me, that's like, it's all there. You've got some Romeo and Juliet with the young lovers. You've got the Caliban and Ariel. You've got the magic from Prospero. So that's a favorite. Antony and Cleopatra, I love because, I love the majesty of, you've got Rome and you've got Egypt. And you've got all of the spectacle of both of those places. And you have Cleopatra, which I think is Shakespeare's strongest female character. And I love that. Like I said, Titus, Aaron the Moor. There's a speech that he makes at the end when he's impregnated Queen Tamara. And he's done it intentionally because of how he feels he's been treated, as a black man in this society. And I'm going to pass down this stain through the generations. That's my victory. My victory over the queen is this child. And so right before they kill him, he says, I'll tell you everything you want to know, but do not harm my son. My son will live. And it just so happens that my son, who's about to be 26, which is crazy, he lives in Belgium. His mother is Belgian. And so we met in Los Angeles. And so, I have a very specific relationship. And at the time we were together, I did a fellow in Los Angeles and Aaron the Moor. And I've never done Aaron the Moor, but it was very representative of not what I went through. I didn't kill my son's mother.
Yeah, but thank God. That's
what I thought about it. But that's a joke.
I know.
I've got the rhythm now, so
You stood outside the house. You looked, but then a memory of your kid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I wrote a kind of a parody back when I was living in Los Angeles when the O.J. Simpson trial and all that was happening, and I was like, it's Ojello. That's all I could think was Ojello, because I was like, here it is. This is it exactly. How modern and relevant is Shakespeare that we can still today look at his plays and draw these parallels to things that are happening right now. I just saw, I can't remember which, I think it was Stephen Colbert's show. Ian McKellen was just on there, and he was reading a monologue. I don't know, I didn't hear the play that it was from, but it was all about immigration. And if you are willing to put these people out of your country, are you willing to be the one who's put out of the next country when your ruler puts you out? And so again, it's like right now, it's still so relevant. So that's why I love Shakespeare. I have a soft spot for that. And I had a 5th grade teacher who introduced me to Shakespeare and was one of those life changers. Before I got to Howard, that teacher was a real life changer for me.
I get the feeling that you changed a lot of students in terms of, maybe not that, well, yeah, you did change that crazy, violent 2-year-old, who, by the way, was just indicted for murder, but we won't go there. No, I'm kidding. But all these other kids that you got to love Shakespeare and got to do a play in your English classes and all that, I'm guessing that you affected more than just a couple of young people.
That's probably the most beautiful thing. I have students that have reached out to me on Facebook that I had never thought that student listened to anything I ever said. And they're, successful now. One that was just off-Broadway. I mean, I was like, my God. So that is the greatest thing. I mean, I tease how happy I am not to be teaching anymore. But and then the last 7 years of my teaching, when I was here back in Houston, I was in charge of the in-school suspension at a middle school. So literally, I had the worst kids every day, all day. I had my window smashed out of my car. I had a kid threaten me with a knife. I mean, all kinds of things. But even in that, I remember I saw one of my former ISS students at the bank a couple of weeks ago. They were a teller now, and they were talking. I was like, they got you in charge of the money? Oh, my God. But she had, she'd made it, and she remembered, she's like, oh, Mr. Carmichael, after being in your ISS class, I didn't want to be in ISS ever again, because I ran a tight ship. But even in that environment, there are still students that I was able to touch, and that's a
girl
great thing.
Also had a really great math teacher, so she figured out how to skim $5 off every 1,000 that the bank would receive. So she's doing really, really well.
Exactly. She's doing great.
I'm kidding. So Jason E. Carmichael, last thing to go see him, please, in the play Tide by Crystal Ray. It is happening at Alpha Omega Studios on East 4th Street, running from March 6th to March 22nd. Please get your tickets, please, because it sounds absolutely great. You're absolutely great. It has been an honor and a joy to have you in the Daverhood. Jason, thank you, and shalom to you.
Shalom, my pleasure. Thank you very much. Peace.
Here on the Dave's Gone By show, live on this Saturday morning. It is February 28th, 2026. We are here for the 1022nd episode of the Dave's Gone By show, because we started back in 2002. So yeah, I mean, we played the clip of when Neil Sedaka was on this program. That was 2004. So we've been on the air for quite a long time, but still loving to do it, still loving guests in the neighborhood like Jason Carmichael and, of course, Rabbi Sol, who will rejoin us just a little bit later in the program with a brand new rabbinical reflection all about Purim jokes. Yes, dear.
Come here, I gotta turn your lights on.
So we found...
But I love it that,
Where are you putting all these eggs?
all of them fell except one. Okay, now you tell me.
What?
I'm gonna show you. Okay, give me your finger.
I beg your pardon?
No, and you can touch, there's a little button right here. You can change see that?
Oh, yeah.
When you're on camera, you can change the pulsing. Give me your phone so I can see it.
Here's
I
my
wanna
phone.
see what you look like. Hold on, I gotta give you the egg
Get
round
the
up.
falling eggs. Put them in a safe place in a little jar.
And here, look.
There.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Wait, let me get the thing ready. You dropped the cushion on the floor. You know,
Yeah.
you need your butt cushion.
Aye.
Let me look to see which one I like better online.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, I've got the antler. When I have the antlers on, oh, she turned them on. Look at that. Look
But
at
you
that.
can do different ones. I want to see different ones, David. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, hold on.
So hold on. I gotta get the.
Okay.
All right. Now I gotta find that
You
thing to press. Here it is.
You can do it once on your head.
All right. I think I found.
Do
Ow.
you want to shut the lights so you can see it better?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do this right, ladies and gentlemen. So I have the Purim antlers on. Now let's try the Purim antlers in a different context.
What's wrong, David? You never used a...
Oh, no, I've never used.
Oh my God, that one's crazy. Leave that. That's...
So this is This is more gentle. Is more like a stop sign flashing or something.
Yeah, and do the crazy one.
And this
That's
is
on.
this is straight on, and this will probably be off. Okay.
Probably when you're talking, leave it just, let's shut out.
Leave it like this.
You can do it again.
All right. So this is plain.
Okay.
Here's crazy. Here's
Wait,
Oh,
slow down. That's a
mellow.
delay. I can't see anything.
or it's cycling. Yeah, because it's got a 15-second delay on the thing. Hold on. And here's
That's good, but it's
Straight.
hard to watch. Leave straight.
straight.
Leave straight.
Straight
And
is
could
good.
you angle it up so we see more of the antlers, see?
Well, I'm gonna sit down like this.
You can angle your computer.
Oh yeah, you're right. There we go. There we go. Little
Why'd
button.
you turn the house to put the light bulb in, David?
Here we go. Yeah, this works. And this is appropriate enough because since Purim is coming up, the happy, happy, delightful Jewish holiday where we take out the bad guy who's trying to kill us all, which we're literally trying to do right now with Iran and getting the Khomeinis out of there. So, and we did. We did. Rabbi Sol will tell us a little bit later about the whole history of Purim and in a brief way.
I would say of that interview, that was amazing how that man could work with students. And why did both interview and interviewee wear the same outfit? Everybody wore maroon. Was there like a guest? Did you ask people to?
Well, because both Rabbi Sol and Jason Carmichael are well read. Thank you very much. So, speaking of reading, let's get to story time because we have our Limerick coming up, and we've got some Purim jokes from Rabbi Sol.
Interview, David.
Well, thank you. But right now, for story time on Dave's Gone By, what I do is I grab something written by somebody else.
The light?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Got the thing there. Thank you very much. And this is where I'll read from somewhere else and have some fun with it. Well, what could be more appropriate for this happy, happy Jewish holiday of Purim coming up in a couple of days than the essential compendium of dad jokes? Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm doing this specifically between breakfast and lunch so that you're not sick to your stomachs. Ladies and gentlemen, it's story time.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You got to give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Story time. My wife just showed me that coming up in April, locally, it's Dumpling Fest.
I
Dumpling.
think it's sponsored by the pierogi. Pierogi. What is
We were talking about last week, Pilagushki, which was the mascot of the Polish something team at the Olympics, and it kind of took off and had a world of its own. So, yes, my little dumplings, it's me, Dave, and it's time to read in Storytime. We're going to do a specific chapter in the essential compendium of dad jokes, 300 and they couldn't do 365, they couldn't do one a day, 301 jokes.
I couldn't think of any more after that.
They probably couldn't take
Where's
it.
your joke button?
I don't know. I didn't have it this week. I've got my my bum button. I got this.
Tell me where I should look for it.
It's usually left because it's in a big box of its own. Is it not there? Upper on the shelf itself, not on the. Here, hold on. Give me that. One moment, please. It's usually here. It is.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have been blind to it. Would you like a tambourine or take this?
Yes, I do need my tambourine. Hold on.
I'm ready to go back.
Oh boy, that's good. You sure you don't want that? You can be like
I'm
that.
sure.
All right. Because I also have the maraca here, and I've got the dad joke button. Because hello, it's a happy holiday. You know, Israel might get wiped off the map this weekend, but until then, we're gonna have some fun.
Oh, you want to do are you going to do an ode to Gilbert? It was his birthday.
Well, happy heavenly. Well, no, this would have been his
He said
birthday.
he was born in Brooklyn.
How old would he have been? Does it say?
He died at 67 4 years ago.
So he was 71 years old. My gosh, Gilbert. If you want to go back and listen to our interview with Gilbert
You should
Gottfried,
post it, David, when you're off the air.
I should, because Gilbert was just one of those human beings who could make me laugh harder than anything else. What else?
No, it's the snowstorm in Pennsylvania got hit hard. They were posting old pictures.
You mean last week or now?
Yeah, they're comparing this week to last week, and they're saying, whoa.
All right. Anywho, so this is the Essential Compendium of Dad Jokes edited by Tom Nowak, illustrations by Carl Whiteley, best of the worst dad jokes for the painfully punny parent. Let's try it. And supposedly, 226 is when they have a chapter called Everyday Embarrassments. Well, I think that definitely works for me. I don't know what this represents. Anybody here have sign language? Because I'm
I'll
guessing
take a picture, and I can do it. Come in, I take a picture.
here.
Let me Google. I'm going to Google search it. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah.
Look at those
I got to take a picture.
ting tang walla walla bang bang. Yeah.
Only this time. Hold on, sorry.
I'm just holding up the book here so she can get us a look at. So this is sort of the beginning of the chapter, Everyday
Oh, the
Embarrassments.
image displays the title 7 Everyday Embarrassments.
Oh. Huh. Okay, I guess. Interesting. All right. So here we go. You know, my recliner and I go way back. I still don't understand why this book and why these dad pun books don't phrase everything as a question followed by a
So
punchline.
fix it.
All right. Why am I so close with my recliner? Well, we go way back. Get it? Better structure. I don't trust stairs. Well, they're always up to something. I still think it's like Jeopardy. It should be phrased like a question. Why don't I trust stairs? They're always up to something. Here. What happens if you rearrange the letters of mailman?
I don't know.
They get really mad. Get it? The letters of no? You're not feeling it? All right, hold on. These are jokes, dad jokes of a humorous nature. I'm going to tell you that I'm only familiar with 25 letters in the English language. No, that was the setup. There's a punchline. I'm only familiar with 25 letters in the English language. I don't know why. Get it? I don't know why. Why? Okay. All right. Here we go. Hey, why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? Any guesses? Well, it was too tired. Too tired. Yeah? No. Let's pick that up a little bit. I used to work in a recycling shop. That was just a setup. Why did I not like working at the recycling shop?
Why?
I got it wrong. I used to work in a shoe recycling shop. Yeah, it was soul destroying. Get it? Yeah, you got it. Okay. Oh, why wasn't the woman happy with the Velcro she bought? Why wasn't the woman happy with the Velcro she bought? Oh, total ripoff. Yeah, all right. There's more. Hey, whatever happened to the guy who invented the knock-knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize. Nobel counts. All right, okay. A few more of these folks. I know. Did you hear about the... Just randomly hitting the drum. Did you hear about the new store that just opened? Yeah, it's called Moderation. And they have everything there. What? I mean, did you hear about the new store that just opened? It's called Moderation.
Yeah.
And they have everything there. Everything's in moderation. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. Here's another shoe joke. Funny you don't look shoeish. What kind of shoes do thieves wear? Sneakers. Don't blame me. Blame the book. I went to the corner shop today. Yeah, I bought 4 corners. Joey Adams is turning his grave. Here we go. Why don't skeletons go trick or treating?
Why not?
Well, they don't have any body to go with. Right? No bones about it. Yeah, I think we'll donate this book. You know, I used to have a job at the calendar factory.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess why I got fired?
Why?
I took a couple of days off. Come on, that's clever.
That was in our calendar on the
announcements
too.
Yeah, these jokes do get recycled, like the shoes there. How come, the reason I don't play soccer is not because I enjoy the sport. I'm just doing it for kicks. I'm just doing it for kicks. Yeah. All right. When do we get to the next chapter? What word starts with E, ends with E, but has only one letter in it?
E.
This isn't going to be an envelope.
Get it one letter in it.
Letter in an envelope. All right. All right. Smart. It's clever. Pun. Fair enough. You know, I will never date another apostrophe.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the last one was too possessive. That's good. Come on, every English teacher gotta love that joke. That's all. Yay for that one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, my grandpa wouldn't like that one, but my grammar would. God almighty.
It's time to eat, Grandma.
And I literally heard this joke in like 2nd grade. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar. How long is this chapter? Why was the picture sent to jail? Oh, it was framed. Hey, hon, do you want to hear a joke about construction?
No.
Never mind. I'm still working on it. See, the jokes build. What is the advantage of living in Switzerland?
What?
Well, the flag is a big plus. Come on. First time I heard that one, I loved it. That's so smart, right? No? No. I'm getting the sourpuss look from the missus. All right. Did you hear about the new broom on the market? It's sweeping the nation. Come on. However, I am giving away my chimney for free.
Yeah?
Oh, well, you could say it's on the house.
God, is this book ever going to end?
This is just one chapter. One chapter that I'm trying to finish here. Okay. Where do snowmen and snow women go to dance? Well, the snowball.
Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on.
No, not the ice cream truck. Oh, okay. The snowball. You'll like this one. What kind of school does Sherlock Holmes attend?
I don't know.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Oh.
All right. Hey, why was the basketball court all wet? Well, people kept dribbling all over it.
That's disgusting.
That's cute. Oh, that's funny. It's cute. Oh, there's more. When this is... How did the giant know that Jack was coming?
I don't know.
She heard Jack and the beans talk. That's almost like one of my wretched puns of destiny right there.
Wretched, all right.
Hey, why did the rope... What did the rope say when it got tangled? Oh no, not again. And the name of this episode is Tied, or Fit to be Tied. How can you get 4 suits for $1? Buy a deck of cards. What made the newspaper blush? Well, it saw the comic strip. Cute. Couple more. I swear to God, we're almost freaking done. Couple more. Why are ghosts great cheerleaders? Well, they have so much spirit. I need my security poo. I really do. Oh, did you hear about the guy who stole a calendar? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got 12 months. And have you read the article about clocks? Well, if not, it's about time. When is the next chapter? When is the next chapter? Oh, this goes all the way to 270. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Just stop where you are.
Let me get one more really good one. Okay, all right.
Okay.
You know, I didn't play well in my basketball game yesterday. I really dropped the ball. Not stopping on that one. Why shouldn't you feed teddy bears?
Why?
Oh, they're already stuffed. No. All right. This one is more visual. Hon, I am going to rewrite history.
Yeah.
All right, just did. Oh, yeah. What's blue and smells like red paint?
Cookie Monster.
Blue paint. That's actually very smart. I like that one. Because you don't think that's funny? Really?
No.
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies!
End on that.
You really end on that one? No, one more, please, one more.
Then you can press the button too.
Oh, on my thing, yeah. How do billboards talk? Sign language. Yeah? Should I end there? Yeah.
Oh, God.
That, my friends, that was story time.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. Remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Where does a beard Try it as a beard.
All right, hold on.
No, wrong way. So
All right,
lights
okay,
can show.
all right.
Turn the lights on.
Oh, oops, now I gotta see how to do that. Hold on.
Right hand, right there.
The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. Actually, my left hand. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, interesting. I'm like Father Purim. It doesn't really, more like Flora Purim. All right. Anywho, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz. This is our 1022nd episode of the program that has been on the air since October of 2002. If you want to know more about our archives, aka listen to them and watch them, because every episode we've ever done is actually saved and salvaged, one or two exceptions, on our website, davesgoneby.com. You want to hear our first episode, our 101st, our 701st, they're all there. Most of them in really good audio or video condition or both. So it's davesgoneby.com. We also keep our archives at archive.org. We have a channel there. Plus, if you want to be out and about and don't want to be staring at your screen for 3 hours, remember that you can listen to the show. The easiest way to do that is to go to castbox.fm and download it as a podcast, which it essentially is. So castbox.fm, we have all our archives there as audio only. Plus, we have a YouTube channel. Plus, we're here on Facebook. So our recent shows are also archived, but Facebook started deleting older episodes that are more than a month old. So that's unfortunate. Facebook, not the best place to see our old stuff. davesgoneby.com is, so is archive.org. Well, it is about 20 to 12 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. Still have a little bit more to do. We have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned and Rabbi Sol Solomon's. But let's do Friends of the Daverhood, then we'll get to Rabbi Sol, then we will do our Colorado Limerick and call it a morning. So, let's see, is there anything else to talk about? No, we're good. So, yeah, Friends of the Daverhood. We want to thank, one more time, Jason Carmichael for being...
Give me the synopsis of the play.
Well, it's called Tied, T-I-E-D. It's being...
Is it like tiding or like tide, like tide?
Like tied up, like T-I-E-D, tied.
That's what I thought,
Yeah, and it's about, and it's a fictional story, even though it's based on a real event. Yeah. The bombing in 1963 in Birmingham, Alabama, of a black church, which killed 4 people. May have killed more than 4 people. 4 children were killed, and a lot of people injured. And it sort of started to turn the tide of the civil rights movement. But this is the tale of a father whose daughter is murdered in this church bombing in Alabama. And his grief process, his rage process, his potential revenge process, it's all of that. It's a one-man show. He plays all the different characters, including the dad. And it's played...
He plays all the characters?
Yeah, one-person show. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And... it has won awards. He's won an award from Houston critics.
So he's reprising it.
Yes.
But in New York.
In New York.
Texas,
yeah. They're doing it at, it's not the Theater Row Theater. I think I mentioned Theater Row Theater. I'm wrong about that.
I just clicked down to Facebook for some reason. Tied.
It's at, and I lost, my piece of paper with that particular bit of information on it is not here. But if you could look up Jason Carmichael Tied.
Where's Jason Carmichael performing the play Tide?
It might be Alpha Omega or some...
I believe so. Hold on.
But go see it. It hasn't started yet.
Alpha Omega Studio. Theater off-Broadway 2026.
Yeah, so that's it. And does it say when it's running? I think it's March 3rd.
I'm looking at it. Can I look at Broadway World? Is that real?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's the image you have. It's the great shot. It's 3/6 to 3/22. So really coming up this week. I can't believe it's March.
I can. With this winter we've had, I can believe it's March. Yeah. Happy to believe it's March.
So it's 70 East 4th Street.
Yeah. So it's almost Lower East Side. Yeah.
Wait.
What?
I'm trying to get.
70 East Fort, near La Mama,
Oh,
near
let's get buy tickets.
Don't Tell Mama. So go see it. And as I said, it's won awards. He's won the awards for his performance too. And a very cool guy. As you've seen from the interview, you're going to want to go see him. And he has a hell of a voice and presence.
Yeah, wow.
So go see that. So thank you to Jason Carmichael for being our guest in the Daverhood today. Thank you again to Audrey Ross for setting up.
They also list, make a night of it, all the restaurants near their parking.
Smart.
I like that.
Yeah. So you're going to want to go see that and to have a night out.
The cost of tickets.
How much are they? 40, 50?
I'm trying to find it. The show won't let me get in there.
Or if you have the website or the phone for tickets, yeah.
Well, this is at United Solo. That's a different thing. That's a film fest. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's no problem. Well, the United Solo. I won the award there for for Miracle of Long John's, yeah.
Just reading. Okay, I'm just reading.
All right. Anywho, thank you to Jason for being with us. But he's not the only person who has been on this program in months or years past. As a matter of fact, we were going to wish, literally on my page here, of Friends of the Daverhood, we were going to wish get well soon, Refuah Shlema, to Neil Sedaka, when I heard he was in the hospital yesterday. Well, he did not get well, and it wasn't soon. But, yeah, these are what our friends have been up to, our friends of the Daverhood. Come on, play Mozart. There we go. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang. So, yeah, our friends of the Daverhood, people who've been on this program in months and years past, with their friends, their family, what are they up to? For example, congratulations to writer Joel Samberg. He has another new article in Connecticut Magazine. The article is Destiny and High School. So go log on to Connecticut Magazine and read our friend Joel Samberg. He is, of course, the grandson of Benny Bell. Jose Rivera, his play, you have just one today and tomorrow to see his play, Look What Crashed Through the Portal and Ended Up in Brooklyn at the Chain Theater in Manhattan. Molly Carden is doing her solo show, I Came Back from Molly, at Theater Row. That's why I got confused. Her show's on at the Theater Row Theater now through the middle of March. Darius DeHaas is in the play About Time at the Marjorie Dean Little Theater in Manhattan. That is running through early April. And running through mid-April, David Cale's play The Unknown, featuring Sean Hayes. That is at the Studio Seaview on West 43rd Street. Michelle LaRue today will be reading from her late husband's poems. She was married to Warren Cleaver, and it's being done at Poet's House in River Terrace, on River Terrace Street. Who knew there was a Poet's House? But yeah, okay, great. And then also today in Pleasantville, New York, you've got an evening with Adam Pascal happening at Arc Stages there. Adam Pascal, of course, known for both Aida and Rent on Broadway. Who else? Donna McKechnie. This is tomorrow. She is doing her cabaret show, A Musical Memoir, at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And also tomorrow, Sunday, Zalman Mlatek is the music director for Avi Hoffman, doing a passion project that he's had since he was doing like Too Jewish 30 years ago. He's now doing the Megillah of Itzik Monger, and it's at the K Playhouse in Manhattan. Peter Felicia is on Monday. He's got his sort of storytelling show. It's called Peter Felicia and Friends, Broadway Tales, and that's being done at 54 Below. Thursday, Linda Eder is going to be performing, and special guest, her son, Jake Wildhorn, and that is happening at 54 Below on Thursday the 5th. Starting Thursday the 5th and running for a week, Karen Ziemba, beloved Karen Ziemba, is at the York Theater in The Count of Monte Cristo, a new musical. Lilias White on Friday is at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And then we've got our usual suspects. So Evan Seplow, founder and editor of StageBuddy.com, New York nightlife website. Vicky Quaddy, see her in her nun shows, many of them in the Chicagoland area. Go to nunsforfun.com for more information. David Sheward writes theater criticism for TotalTheater.com. Darren DeVivo, he hosts his new radio show, Noises from the Valley, on WKZE Radio, Friday evenings. Eva Heineman is the host of High Drama, which you can watch on YouTube. Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake co-host Two on the Aisle, which you can also watch on YouTube. And those, my friends, are the Friends of the Daverhood. Okay, thank you, Wolfgang. So, yes, we got 10 minutes to 12. We might go just a few minutes overtime because we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned to do on Dave's Gone By. But before we get to that, here's a reminder that Purim is coming up, one of the fairly rare happy Jewish holidays. And in order to celebrate, we're bringing back Rabbi Sol Solomon. He, of course, did the interview with Jason Carmichael, but now he's back with his Rabbinical reflection. They're his mini sermons. He's done more than 200 of them now. And this one, even though he had no idea a couple of days ago that Israel would be at war with Iran right now, we're putting politics aside. This is about humor. This is Purim. He wants to tell some jokes. Hopefully they're better ones than in the dad joke book. I was just reading from...
Press the button.
The button what? On my...
The joke button.
Oh, I forgot. Here.
Did you know that 97% of the world is stupid? Luckily, I'm the other 5%. Yeah. So here, I'm going to share screen again. And then let's see. And let's get Rabbi Sol Solomon just in time for the holiday, or the holidave. Going to open this up with our QuickTime. Thank you very much. Going to make it nice and large. Get your thoughtful laughter ready for Rabbi Sol Solomon. Shalom, damn it! This is Rabbi Sol Solomon with a rabbinical reflection for Purim time, 2026. Yes, my friends, it's Purim! Arguably the happiest holiday on the Jewish calendar, and I'll argue about anything. Purim commemorates a story in the book of Esther, wherein a Jewish woman married to a Persian king turns the table on His Highness's anti-Semitic advisor. Instead of Esther's people dying, evil Haman gets the news. Plus, the Jews are granted permission to kill their oppressors. To put this in a modern context, imagine if, the day before October 7th, we hung Yahya Sinwar and were then given the go-ahead to annihilate Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and Queers for Palestine. So, on this festive holiday of Chag Purim, we're supposed to drink like the Irish, dance like the Schwarzes, and wear costumes so ridiculous, even Chapel Rowan would go, too much. I celebrate Purim the best way I know how, telling jokes, sharing humor, and then commenting upon it, because nothing improves a joke like explaining it. Our first joke of the day, a classic, is set on a flight bound for Israel. Two Arabs board the plane, taking a window and a middle seat. Moments after they've settled, my cousin Chaim checks his ticket and, bad luck, he has the aisle seat next to them. But the Arabs read their Quran, Chaim reads his Tanakh, all is quiet. As the flight progresses, the Arab in the window seat calls to Chaim and says, "Excuse me, I'm so thirsty. I'd rather not get up, so would you mind getting me a glass of Coca-Cola?" "No problem," says my cousin, who goes off to the beverage cart. While he's gone, the Arab grabs Chaim's Bible, opens it to a random page, spits in it, then closes the book and puts it back. Chaim returns with a beverage. The Arab in the middle seat says, wait, before you sit, I'm thirsty too. Would you mind also getting me in? No problem, says Chaim, who goes to get another Coca-Cola. As soon as he's down the aisle, the middle Arab grabs my cousin's Tanakh, opens it, spits, replaces the book. Chaim comes back with a second beverage and hands it to the other Arab. Both friends tip their cups to Chaim and drink, giggling to themselves over their practical joke. My cousin sits quietly for a moment. Then he sighs, when will it end? What do you mean? The Arabs reply. The animosity between our people, says Chaim. The fighting, the retribution, the spitting in prayer books, the pissing in cokes. Now, what do we learn from this joke? Well, we learn the reason why flight attendants serve everything in those little cans. But we also recognize the tragedy of neighbors who should be able to get along side by side and yet can't. We also see, as Jews have seen repeatedly in history, people who do bad things to us get far worse done to them. Hitler may have killed 6 million Jews, but World War II took out 8 million Germans. Hamas murdered 1,200 Israelis on October 7th. The Gaza War, 70,000 Palestinians biting the sand. The lesson? If you expectorate in our exodus, God will pee in your Pepsi. Next joke. I heard Paul Reiser tell this one on a podcast for Yibo. My uncle Shimon is walking down the street and sees a businessman in a tailored suit, the most gorgeous outfit Shim has ever seen. He says, where did you get that suit? The businessman says, isn't it exquisite? It's from my tailor in the garment district. Here's his card. But I warn you, it's super expensive. Before the man can even get the words out, my uncle is running with the card in his hand down 38th Street. Are you Pinsky the tailor? He says when he gets in the shop. I am, says Pinsky. I need a suit like the guy I just saw. Is it double-breasted, gray with... I know the one, says Pinsky. You understand, that suit will cost you $18,000. 18 grand, says my uncle. You know what? I don't care. I need it. Oh, well, I'd like to know, why such a price? Pinsky says, you get what you pay for. The cloth comes from a rare silkworm that takes 6 months to spin out a yard of fabric. The buttons come from the ivory of specially bred elephants, where it takes a year to grow and another year to get through customs. The zipper on the pants, sterling silver from a mine that's so dangerous they only go into it once every 3 years. Then, when everything's assembled, I stitch by stitch by stitch for weeks on end. So, please understand, for this suit, you might wait 4 or 5 years. Oi, says Shimon, I have a bar mitzvah Saturday. Pinsky says, it'll be ready. The point of this joke is not that the tailor is telling deliberate, outlandish lies. It's that when you have a bird in the hand, you don't beat about the bush. If I am asked a theoretical question, I look at all the angles, the pitfalls, the risk versus reward analyses, but if you tell me this is happening, all the blackboard calculations in the world won't accomplish anything. I just have to do it. And lo and behold, it gets done. I do feel bad for all those silkworms, though, who must feel really rushed under those circumstances. Okay, one more joke. Last night, I asked my dear wife, Miriam Libby, darling, why did you marry me? She said, Sol, because you're so funny. I said, oh, that's nice, I guess. It's not because I'm handsome or great in bed. My wife said, see, that's hilarious. You never know what will bring people together. For Miriam Libby, it was my sense of humor. For me, it was Miriam's personality and wide hips for bearing many, many, many children. It matters not why couples or friends become attached. What counts is the long-term connection, the sharing of joys and burdens. if we can bring that togetherness not just to our inner circle, but to everyone around us, maybe there'll be less spitting and pissing, more honest tailors, and wives even more fertile. As Mordecai and Esther would say, I'll drink to that. This has been a rabbinical reflection from Rabbi Sol Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches, in Great Neck, New York. A freilich in Purim Sudir. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon. For more about him, please go to shalomdammit.com. That's where all of his rabbinical reflections are. You can read them, you can listen to them, and sometimes, last few years he's been doing them as videos. You can watch them too, including several of them that were Purim jokes from previous years. So yeah, lots to enjoy at shalomdammit.com. And speaking of which, since Rabbi Sol and I collaborate on so many of his rabbinical reflections, you can also find them at my other website, which is davelefkowitz.org. Dave Lefkowitz, spelled like my name, .org. This is where all my writing, or as much as I've gathered so far, including my plays, including my written interviews that have been published, including my screenplays, including my song lyrics, including rabbinical reflections co-written with Rabbi Sol Solomon, all of them readable for free at davelefkowitz.org. Give it a look. I hope you like stuff that I have written. I certainly do. Anyway, it's just afternoon. You're watching the 1022nd episode of the Dave's Gone By Show called Fit to Be Tied in honor of our guest, Jason Carmichael. We thank him one more time. But before we pack up and go, we do have one more item of business to take care of. My wife is giving me the sourpuss look again.
No, my back hurts.
Oh, sorry.
Pain. It's not pain. I don't know the difference.
No, I don't know the difference. You got a look on your face. I don't know if it's pain or it's emotional pain listening to me trying to be funny. So here is Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and we're going to Coburn, Colorado. Coburn, I haven't heard of it either, but I found it on a listing on Wikipedia. It apparently is real. It's a neighborhood. Don't really have much to say about it, but I do have a poem about it. Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We've done more than 300 of these. I try to write a new one still every week. A place in Colorado turned into a limerick, and this time it's Coburn, Colorado. All I have about this, all I could find, it's in Delta County, which is in central western Colorado, and it's a neighborhood. That's it. Literally nothing else about Coburn, but it's listed in Wiki. And it's not just a post office. I draw the line there. If it's a ghost town from a million years ago, tiny little 2-street neighborhood, but a post office alone doesn't count. But this neighborhood counts. Coburn, Colorado. Here comes this week's Limerick of the Damned. Oh, I've got to put on a fake Italian accent for this one, just FYI. A dumb signorina from Coburn was warned many times, but she no learn. She get too close while she cooking a roast. Que machalo watching that hoe burn. If you have a complaint, please email it to davesgoneby@aol.com, davesgoneby@aol.com. So I try and read every single thing that comes in. I also read, of course, when you post messages to me on Facebook or you post
either direct message me on Facebook or post under a particular show. I'm actually, was that from you, the thumbs up on that limerick? Someone was, you said what a wonderful guest. Yeah. Who else? Greetings to Nomi, who's writing a lot of commentary today, which is really nice. I know my cousin Adam was watching before. Thank you.
He commented on the death of
Neil Sedaka?
Yeah.
So, again,
he's on the show. Why you haven't had him on the show in a while?
Well, he's generally on, like, our New Year's.
Holiday, yes.
Yeah, New Year's or my birthday.
I'm excited because we can buy the painting.
Yes.
How long do you think it'll take to ship?
Probably about a week or two. I mean, if he mails it like priority, it'll cost more to mail than he's asking for us to. Because yes, we're thinking of buying.
No, we are buying.
We are buying.
I'm buying it for you. It's a present.
Art Paul Schlosser.
It's not a surprise. I love it. I'm buying it for you as a present, and then I'm going to print it on a shirt, and I'm going to make you wear the shirt.
She's going to make me wear in public?
On your show.
On my show, absolutely. Yes. So again, thank you one more time to Art Paul Schlosser, our musical friend of the Daverhood, who painted a portrait of me. It's sort of almost a reverse commission. I asked him to do it as just to do it. He did it, and now we want to buy it.
So you did it as a kind of a joke, not joke, because you wanted it.
Yeah, of course I wanted it, yeah.
So you did it out there, like, you have hostility, like, why don't they hire me? Why don't they do me? Like, you were yelling like that. You're like, why did you do me? And then he painted you.
Yeah.
The next day,
he painted me, and the painting is up there. If you want to get, go look for Art Paul Schlosser, by the way, on the web, if you want to buy or look at his other gallery stuff, not to mention the hundreds of songs. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, here, I'll show him one more time. Here it is.
Can we call it Painty Dave?
Painty Dave, yes.
Because that's what it is, Painty Dave.
Yeah, it's not so much an old master's old masturbator kind of thing here, but welcome to the Daverhood. Gotta love the teeth.
Yeah, no, you have beautiful teeth. You do. No, like this, like you're talking. No, like that.
Well, look at the mouth. Look at I'm not. My mouth is like.
Whole flowers.
I don't have necessarily.
Next time we'll do it.
Next time, I can hold this. My little corsage.
You're so cute.
Oh, thank you. And thank you really to Art Paul Schlosser. I mean, it's I like his aesthetic a lot. So it's a thought that counts, but I really like that
I think
his
it's
design.
amazing how he could produce it. I don't know how he could produce it so quickly.
No
I give
idea.
him credit.
Yeah.
Because then there's not a lot of images of you to go by except on Facebook. You know?
Right, you have to freeze my thing, but
you have to look at. I mean, that's hard.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
And I know that's you by seeing it.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
And he didn't make you all gray, and he didn't give you a crazy shirt.
Amazingly enough, you don't look at this and go, "Wait, is that Ryan Gosling?" No, it's not. No, it's not. Definitely not.
One more pressy joke.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Okay.
A dad joke for.
Hold on.
Ready?
My daughter said she was cold, so I told her to sit in the corner because it's 90 degrees.
That's a math joke.
Another one.
Really, not into. This doesn't have hundreds on it. We're going to rehear. All right, here we go.
What do you call a man with no arms or legs in the middle of the ocean? Bob.
That's rather tasteless for a button if you think about it. Here, wait, why don't I read? I can finish the chapter of the book.
Please don't. One more pressy button.
One more pressy button joke. Here we go.
My friend David lost his ID. Now I call him Dav.
Yeah, you're right. That was the joke to end on.
That's David.
That's me. Or Dav. You can call me Dav. I'm Dave, really. Dave.
Dav is cute too as a nickname. It's like unusual. Dav.
So Dav is finishing this episode of Dav's Gone By on this February 28th, 2026. Let me pull this off the wall here. But do be with us. Do be or don't be. Do be with us next Saturday for our 1023rd episode. And I don't know if it'll be next Saturday or the Saturday after, but we have lined up a couple of cool guests. For example, this is going to be amazing. We're going to have we don't have because I'm more of a theater guy. than a music guy than a dance guy. But we've had some dance people. We've had Bill T. Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Award-winning.
Yeah.
Also, Kurtzman, I think his name, forgive me for...
We had some dancers, some choreographers who won stuff, yeah.
We have. But we should have more, because I appreciate the creativity, and I start to appreciate dance a little bit more as I get older, when I never really got it for years and years and years. But this is a hell of a story. We have a true, honest-to-God, Russian ballerina coming to us. Her name is Valentina Kozlova, and she was...
Did she defect with us?
She did. She's an actual defector.
That's like on Columbo. Remember the Columbo episode?
Yeah, well, yeah. She was. And like Nureyev and like all these other people from the chess people, the writers, the film, got out of Soviet Russia. She isn't, by the way, not Jewish, but she still chose to defect with her husband back in the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
Came out of, and she was a star there. She was in the Bolshoi Ballet. Prima, as I say,
to get out of the country to perform other places.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. She was performing in these other places and got to see the other side of the the grass is always greener. It really was. Russia was great.
Do they become naturalized? I mean,
I assume she's a citizen for many, many years.
Don't have her on your show.
So she became a star ballerina here as well. She was also on Broadway in On Your Toes. She was the first replacement for Natalia Makarova when she opened the show On Your Toes in, I think, 1983. And Valentina Kozlova has gone on to run a dance school, dance competitions, still occasionally performs a little bit. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, talk about an interesting story. Someone who got out of Russia when you couldn't get out of Russia. And not to mention a tremendous talent as a dance ballet person. So it's either going to be next week or the week after, but Valentina Kozlova on Dave's Gone By, talking with Rabbi Sol Solomon. That's going to be a treat. And then we're working on a scientist for either next week or the week after. That'll be a lot of fun because he's got a very, very fun science project that he's accomplished, apparently. So much great stuff. davesgoneby.com for all our older archives, and of course checking our Facebook page and davesgoneby.com for what we'll be doing in the months, weeks, years, and eons and decades ahead. So, yeah, not a bad way to end the program. Anything else that we need to talk about? Anything else that's come up this week? So yay. Thank you to my darling, adorable, and wonderful wife. Thank you to Rabbi Sol. Thank you to Jason Carmichael. Thank all of you one more time for tuning in. A most happy and freilich and joyful Purim time to you. I'm going to put on the antlers again for my costuming. I'll even light them up. Yeah, huh? Not too shabby. And I'm going to play our gentle music by Dave J. that he created many years ago. I should give him more credit because we use it every time to end the show. There goes the Daverhood.
Days gone by, days gone by, days gone by,
And, ladies and gentlemen, remember, when you talk about Purim, there's Esther, there's Mordecai, and Haman! Hey man, it's time to go and gone by.